Hello, welcome to the Football Social with Sky Bet. Our third show in 7 days. We are, of course, live on Soccer M and Football Daily's social channels right now. So many games on monitors with matches all around me. Our feature game is Man United versus Fulham. Both teams badly needing a win. Plus, we'll be updating you on all the other games as well. Delighted to say, back on the sofa for the Football Social, it's Clinton Morris. Round of applause.
Hello, Clinton.
Great for coming back on. You pleased to be here?
Yeah, buzzing. I've been messaging you every week to get back on.
I can confirm he has been messaging me weekly to come back on. He's back on, and something tells me you'll be back on again, because we love having you on.
I hope so, mate.
You're watching our feature game, Man United versus Fulham. This is a big game for both teams, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think both teams are struggling and both want the points. Jose will want the points because his team is struggling and can't win a game at the moment, and Fulham are struggling near the bottom. Yeah. So it's a massive game, but I'm going to go for a Man United win.
Ooh, OK.
Thanks, Clinton.
Joining you on the show, a man that's very happy that you're here, because it is Will Brazier, Birmingham, big Birmingham City fan. Will, you're on Social Corner.
Yes,
Let's just remind the viewers how they can get involved in the show and what you want from them.
Yeah, so if you get involved at Soccer AM, at Football Daily, using the hashtag #TheFootballSocial, get your questions in for Clinton and he'll get them answered.
Yes. And no such thing as a bad question. Get them in.
There is.
No, there is. There definitely is.
We've had some shopping. Next to him, Ash from Football Daily. Ash, you've got a tricky role today, multitasking, watching the other 4 games. Remind us what 4 games
Smithy,
you're watching.
It's not a tricky role. It's the best seat in the house. I'm watching Burnley, Brighton, Cardiff, Southampton, West Ham, Palace, and I'll be keeping an eye on Arsenal, Huddersfield as well. Can't wait.
Of those 4 games that you're watching, what are you most excited about?
Cardiff, Southampton.
Are you?
Hassan Hutul's debut for Southampton. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
What are your thoughts on how it'll get on?
The Alpine Klopp, he's been referred to as the worst nickname in football, perhaps. I can't wait. I'm interested to see what he brings to Southampton, see if he can make a difference after a few training sessions.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
Keep it close to that. It's interesting what he said, actually, about we'll get into Southampton later, but he's going to completely change the way they play, so we'll mention that later, of course. Football Social wouldn't be the Football Social without the traditional accumulator. This is what we've
Come on, the Akka!
This week. Come on, the Akka. I have gone for, pains me to predict this one as a Spurs fan, but I do think that Arsenal will have too much for Huddersfield at the Emirates. I've gone for a home win there. Ash has gone for a draw between Burnley and Brighton. Tough one to pick, that one. Will has gone for a home win. Will, interestingly, Cardiff to beat Southampton. Clinton, we're giving you 2 predictions here, so no pressure. You've gone for Man United to beat Fulham, as you've already said on the show, and you've gone for West Ham to draw to Palace. Now, I'm surprised at this, ex-Palace player yourself. I thought you'd go for a Palace win.
I wanted to go for a Palace win, but they're not in good form at the minute. And after watching the midweek game against Brighton, they didn't play that well. And West Ham have been in very good form.
They have, haven't they? Yeah.
So a draw would take a point.
Importantly, you can get odds of 53 to 1 on that. You must be 18 plus.
Huge!
Conditions apply. For more information, go to skybet.com. And of course, as well as that, we'll be updating you with all of the in-play betting thanks to Sky Bet throughout the show. Right, let's have a look at the Premier League table. Big news today, Liverpool go top thanks to that 4-0 thumping of Bournemouth away from home. Mo Salah with 3 and Steve Cook with the own goal. So Liverpool leapfrog Man City at the top of the Premier League. Worth pointing out, Man City do have that game in hand, as well as a superior goal difference. Tottenham in 3rd, Chelsea 4th, Arsenal 5th. Man United down in 8th. And interestingly, Man United are nearer to 20th than they are to top. That is a staggering statistic at this stage of the season. -1 goal difference as well. So we'll flick to the bottom half quickly for Man United fans. Rock bottom of the table, Fulham. All the bottom 3 teams on 9 points from 15 games. Fulham, Burnley and Southampton all on 9. Huddersfield and Cardiff just outside the bottom 3. So very tight at the top, very tight at the bottom as well. Right, let's talk about our feature game. You've gone for a Man United win. We can have a look at the team news. This is the Man United starting 11, which is very interesting because there's a few changes from midweek. Jose has gone for De Gea in goal. Dalot, Jones, Smalling and Young at the back. Herrera and Matic in behind. Rashford, Mata, Lingard and Lukaku plays as a number 9. Clinton, the obvious place to start here. Glaring omission, Paul Pogba. So the question that we want to ask yourself, and we want you guys at home to get involved as well in the comments, are Man United stronger or weaker with Paul Pogba in the team?
No, I think when Pogba's flying, Man United are stronger. Pogba's a world-class footballer. He's probably one of the best footballers in the world.
Yeah.
But he's not producing his form at the moment. So Jose's maybe sending out a signal here to say, I'm in charge here, I pick the team, you're not going to decide who plays. And obviously, the last few games, he hasn't been to his potential. Me personally, I'd play Pogba alongside Herrera. I'd drop Matic.
Well, Ash is shaking his head in complete disagreement. Now, Ash is a Man United fan, of course. Ash, what's your stance on Pogba?
I absolutely love him. He's one of the only players in our team that, if you give him the ball in a tight situation, he can take the ball and do something with it. And we are such a worse team without him. Matic, as much as I want to love him, his legs are gone. And Pogba needs him to be in that team with Torreira alongside him.
But is Pogba in form? Is he having his best season? Let's be honest, he's made mistakes, isn't he? That's a valid point as well. There's other players that have.
There's no one in form in our team.
We can see pictures of him now. This is Pogba warming up, absolutely hammering it down at Old Trafford as well. Pogba is on the bench. That is the big news. Get your questions and thoughts into us on the Football Social. Are United better without Pogba? You are a bit gutted he's not starting.
I'm gutted, yeah, especially in this sort of game where we should be really taking the game to Fulham. Pogba is one of our most creative players. He should be playing. Simple as.
Yeah, but don't you think, Ash, also he can give the ball in silly areas and then they can be
of course. Look,
it?
He does make mistakes, but you kind of think if he had the base of maybe Torreira and Matic behind him, he has that freedom to, like he did in the World Cup with Matuidi and Kante behind him, he had the freedom.
Big difference is they haven't got a Kante in there.
That's very true.
That is the big difference.
We were on air midweek watching Arsenal, Man United at Old Trafford as well. Fantastic game. Pogba, again...
I love him. I want him to be successful because I love him.
Yeah,
I love watching him. Like my kids love Man United, and all they talk about is Pogba. Everyone wants to see Pogba succeed, but I just think the relationship with Jose is broken, and it's going to be hard to fix that back.
Do you know what? Ash makes a good point as well. Where I don't think personally Pogba's having his best season, but I do feel that he does get singled out for criticism when you look at Alexis Sanchez. He's injured now, but dreadful season as well. Lukaku, Romelu Lukaku scored his first goal in 13 games at St Mary's. That was his worst run without a goal for the club. They've had problems at the back. It's not just Paul Pogba, is it? The issues in Man United. There's a lot more issues than Paul Pogba.
No, definitely. Lukaku has to score goals. They brought him in to be. When you play for a team like Man United, when they pay a lot of money, you have to deliver. It's not just Paul Pogba. Lukaku hasn't been good enough, and a lot of Man United fans will tell you he's probably the main problem. They don't probably think it's Pogba.
Main problem?
I think the main problem is Lukaku. When you play the ball up to him, it has to stick. 9 times out of 10, it's bouncing off him, and he ain't getting control of the ball. And as a centre forward, you're pivotal to control that ball, and he has to score goals. That's what they brought him to do, score goals at big games, and he hasn't done that. And his body language, Smithy, doesn't look good. It don't look like he enjoys it.
Well, here he is now. We can see him on the screen. Here is his body language. Interestingly, Lukaku started just 2 of the last 8 games in all competitions. As we said, scored his first goal in 13 games, which was his worst run without a goal for the club. But he does start today, so big decision for Jose. Will, we're going to come to you soon as well. Are people commenting? Let's get questions in on Lukaku and Pogba. I imagine there's a lot of Man United fans watching the stream. Yeah, lots of discussion already going on in the chat as well. Someone simply puts moron. Without Pogba, Fulham will win.
Moron.
Straight in there.
That is from AbTK. So,
I like the way, in fact, we're name-checking that person.
Straight in there with a moron.
Yeah.
Moron.
5 minutes into the show. Pogba at Juve was a beast. He should go back. Man United need Pogba. Pogba hasn't been playing his best for a while and needs to get out of the team. Pogba is not the problem. The defence is.
Oh, so that sums up the issue. It's completely split, isn't it?
It is.
For every one person you say it's got to play Pogba, you get someone else saying you shouldn't play Pogba. He does divide opinion, doesn't he?
He does, but he's a terrific talent, and you don't become a bad player overnight.
No.
If you watch what he did in the summer for the World Cup with France, he was magnificent.
Yeah.
He was absolutely magnificent.
Is that because he plays in a slightly different role for France? Do you think Jose's got the best position out of him?
I just think he's got a person beside him in Kante and Matuidi, two people who are exceptional. I don't think Matic can cover the ground like he used to. Matic has got away with a lot this season because he's been disappointing. Because Pogba is a big superstar, a lot of people are just looking at him and looking at his game, but not looking at anybody else.
Yeah. Ash, let's come to you from a United's perspective. Before you're busy and we lose you to the other 4 games, Man United 12 points worse off than at this stage last season, not won any of their last 4 Premier League games, worst defensive starts for a season, just 2 clean sheets this season, negative goal difference, nearer the bottom to the top. I've got a page full of statistics.
Any more?
And it's not me trying to dig out Man United, but these are the facts.
Yeah,
These are the facts. And I don't have anything against Man United as a Tottenham fan, but what do you think, what I'm trying to get at, needs to change for Man United to turn the season around?
Sounds like a Rafa Benitez, these are the facts,
the
rant there. I think, do you know what? We've actually all touched on it already. We've said there's problems with the defence, the midfield and the attack.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got problems everywhere.
Goalie's good, though.
Goalie is the best in the world.
Making a few mistakes at the moment, but
no one. His first mistake led to a goal since 2016. Come on, Clinton. Don't dig out De Gea as well.
I love De Gea.
If he likes Pogba, he's loving De Gea at a different level.
It genuinely is.
On that note, let's look at the Fulham team. Here is the Fulham side. Big game for Fulham, of course. Massive game for Fulham at Old Trafford. Rico in goal. Adoy, Ream, Alfie Mawson and Brian at the back. Seri and Guisa, and then Schürrle, Kenny, Sessegnon and Mitrovic up top. Mitrovic having a good season. You've gone for a Man United win, Clinton, but who will Jose be looking at and be worried about from this Fulham team?
Mitrovic and Sessegnon and even Schürrle. I think the front three can cause a lot of problems there. On their day, they can cause anyone problems. And that is an attacking lineup. I remember teams when they used to go to Old Trafford, they would just play like a back five, 4 in midfield, 1 up front. But this is attacking, so that just goes to show where Man United are at the moment. Fulham believe they can go there and get the win.
Yeah, Alexander Mitrovic, 7 Premier League goals, which is incredible, really, when you think that Fulham are rock bottom of the Premier League. Andre Schürrle scored 5 goals, Premier League goals this season as well. So they've got areas in the pitch where they are dangerous, but there are players that need to step up. Any particular players you think need to offer a lot more for Fulham this season?
Tom Kearney's a good player. He's been injured and he's missed a lot of games. He's the captain, but he's a tremendous player. He's a good footballer. He plays in that number 10 role, and I'd like to see him get on the ball more. And the 2 midfielders that are bought, Seri and Anguissa, they can do better.
Yeah,
they've been big money signings.
Yeah,
there's big money signings, and I rated Seri as one of the best signings when I saw at the start of the season. But them 2 haven't delivered. It's time to step up now. And defensively, Fulham have to be better because they've struggled massively.
Yeah, we can see the scenes. These are the players right now coming out of the tunnel. Man United and Fulham coming out of the tunnel in our feature game. A quick word on Ranieri. Thoughts on that appointment? Good appointment for Fulham?
I didn't think at the time. I didn't think it.
You didn't think so?
I didn't. Even though he'd done ever so well at Leicester, you got to realise that was a one-off, and he had some great players there. I don't think there's great players at Fulham at the moment. I think it's more of a team effort. But he could prove me wrong and end up do well for them and keeping them up. I would have stuck with Jokanovic. I like Jokanovic. I thought he was
stuck with him.
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant manager, and he was trying to get it right. But as I said earlier, defensively not good enough. But one thing Jokanovic did do, changing the team too much, Smithy.
You think?
Ranieri, but you have to do that when you're not winning sometimes.
Yeah, good point. Good point. And it's interesting, isn't it? You look at Jokanovic's first promoted team to spend over 100 million. They brought so many players in.
Big money.
So he will argue that he didn't get time to let those players gel.
But I heard he's not even... He hasn't been the one who's signing all the players. Right. So that's what I've heard. He ain't. So if you're not bringing in your own players, what chance have you got if you don't know your best 11? And you keep changing every week. You have to get a settled team, especially a back 4. And that's why they've conceded so many goals.
That's the one.
The clean sheet,
yeah, the back 4, like Alfie Mawson, young, well, not that experienced. Adoy, I saw Shea Adams tear apart St Andrews.
Yes.
Callum Chambers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chambers isn't playing today. He's been quite good for them in that centre midfield role.
Played in a different role, didn't he, against Chelsea? So those were the scenes. Interestingly, we spoke about Alexander Mitrovic, who is a man in fire. 7 Premier League goals. Oh, yeah. He is a 9-1 price boost to score first today. Don't forget, he must be 18 plus. Full terms. You've got to get on it. Conditions apply. Right, let's go around the grounds. Arsenal versus Huddersfield. Unai Emery makes 3 changes from that 2-2 draw at Old Trafford on Wednesday. Rob Holding has been ruled out for up to 9 months with an ACL injury, so Stefan Lichtsteiner comes in at the back. Granit Xhaka returns from suspension, and Alexander Lacazette starts up front with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Laurent Koscielny returns to the bench after a long spell out injured, so that's interesting. David Wagner also makes 3 changes to the Huddersfield side that lost at Bournemouth in midweek. Chris Lowe, Tommy Smith and Danny Williams are all in today's starting 11. Big game for Huddersfield. They're another team that badly need results, badly need points.
Smithy, I've got a bet for you.
Go on.
Arsenal haven't been leading a game at half-time this season.
Yeah.
Jump on that. You do the terms and conditions.
So the terms and conditions must be 18 plus. Full terms and conditions apply. For more, go to skybet.com.
Thank you very much.
Love that.
And back that, because I reckon Arsenal, Aubameyang and Lacazette up top, I reckon surely they've got to end that today.
Aubameyang is a man in fire. Top Premier League goal scorer in the Premier League this season. Right, we can go around the other games. All the other games are approaching kick-off. This is the scenes at the London Stadium. They are forever blowing bubbles. There are the bubbles being
everywhere.
Blown. West Ham versus Crystal Palace, London derby. And West Ham have made 3 changes from their midweek win against Cardiff. Lucas Perez, Fabian Balbuena and Pablo Zabaleta all start in place of Marco Arnautovic, Mikel Antonio and Angelo Ogbonna. Roy Hodgson names an unchanged side to the one that lost 3-1 at Brighton on Tuesday. As Clinton said earlier, Crystal Palace need to improve their form, don't they?
Oh, definitely, mate. It's been put. They haven't scored enough goals. No. This is a massive game. I would think West Ham are favourites, but I just went for the draw because Palace are not bad on the road. Yeah. And if they sit back and defend, they've got Wilfried Zaha and Townsend that can cause problems.
Yeah. Yeah, heart v head that was, wasn't it? I think
it was, mate. It was. My head thought, West Ham are in good form.
Went for the draw.
Yeah, exactly.
We can go to Turf Moor as well. The big games keep on coming. Burnley Another team that need a win. A lot of teams that badly need to pick up points today. Burnley are unchanged, interestingly, from the 3-1 home defeat to Liverpool on Wednesday. Joe Hart makes his 400th league career appearance, whilst Ashley Barnes starts up front against his old side. Chris Hughton, worth pointing out as well, Brighton in brilliant form. I believe they're 10th in the league, so great job Chris Hughton's doing there. He makes 4 changes to the Brighton side that beat Crystal Palace in midweek. Shane Duffy misses out through suspension, and Glenn Murray can only make the bench. Club captain Bruno and Leon Balogun both come into the back line, while Anthony Knockaert and Florent Andone start in attack. And these are the scenes at the Cardiff City Stadium. Neil Warnock makes 2 changes from the midweek defeat at West Ham. Josh Murphy and Nathaniel Mendes-Lang replacing Joe Ralls and Junior Hoylett. Easy for me to say. New Southampton manager Ralph Hasenhüttl makes his Premier League debut today, and they make 6 changes. So straight in with the changes from the side that lost away to Tottenham. Worth pointing out as well, Southampton were very unlucky in that game, had a lot of chances. Jan Valery, Jan Bednarak, Mario Lemina, Yannick Vestergaard, Oriol Romeo and Charlie Austin all returned to the starting line. Charlie Austin, of course, scoring that consolation goal for Southampton at Wembley. Southampton were actually unlucky against Spurs. I don't know if you saw a bit of that game.
I did, mate.
It was 3-0. Lloris had his game of the season, made 2 double saves. They hit the bar, they hit the crossbar.
You're right, mate. I watched it. Lloris was outstanding.
Yeah. What's it like when a new manager comes in? Have you been in a dressing room when a new manager comes in and you're struggling, you're in the relegation there and about? How does that affect the change?
Well, it depends, really. It depends. If I wasn't playing, I'd be happy for the new manager coming in, because I think I could start getting game time. Yeah. And it's a clean slate there. You have to impress on the training pitch. He's done a bit of homework, watched a few games, but you get a chance. It's like Stephen Davis. He hasn't been playing like nearly all season. I'm very surprised. I think he's a top player for Southampton. Yeah. And he's been the captain. It was strange what Mark Hughes did, but as I said, going back to the new manager, when a new manager comes in, you have to be on your toes, and it gives a whole team a lift. And I expect Southampton to win today for sure.
Yeah, feature game has just kicked off. In fact, all of our games, bar one, kicked off, and Arsenal kicked off. They're all playing into the first minute of all our games. Fulham's only Premier League win at Old Trafford in 12 visits, interestingly, came 15 years ago, 3-1 in October 2003. So they'll be wanting to change that. Oh. Ash, chance in one of your games. What happened? Let's go straight to Ash.
Southampton, Charlie Austin, little near post flip. Matt Targett with the ball in, flicked it just past the post. Bright start from Southampton.
Ooh, good start for them.
Yeah.
And interesting, I think I'm right in saying that the last 7 permanent managers for Southampton have all failed to win
their first game in charge.
Match.
Yeah. That's why I backed Cardiff on the Acker Smithy.
I
knew that.
Knowledge.
We haven't had enough of Will on the show so far. You can't have enough of Will. He's highly entertaining. What have you got in the social corner? And just remind the viewers how they can get involved in the show.
Get involved at Soccer AM, at Football Daily, using the hashtag #TheFootballSocial. And can I have that as a testimonial, Smithy? Is that all right, what you just said? Fantastic. That's great news. Hamill the Animal, not with us this weekend, watching from his bed, or will he be from his sofa?
Big love for Chris Hamill.
He says, Will is my favourite endangered creature. John Stiff is in the comments. He said, can you see Mitrovic bullying Jones and Smalling today?
Yes.
Oh, straight away, actually.
He's such a good centre forward. He does that, and Smalling and Jones might not be ready for that. To be honest, he's going to cause them a lot of problems, I reckon. Unfortunately,
it's a great point. He is good. He's good with his back to goal. He don't want to run him behind, but he likes to wrestle with the centre halves, and he's strong. He's a beast.
19 goals in 36 games for Fulham. He's scored. He's also scored the most headed goals in the Premier League this season. So they're going to be looking at that.
Yeah, it balls into the box. Yeah, with Sessegnon and Shirley on both wide areas, whipping balls in. Mitrovic, that's where he comes alive, Smithy, as you said, in and around the 6-yard box. So he'll be a threat for sure this afternoon.
And look at the rain. The rain is pouring down at Old Trafford. Claudio Ranieri rocking the bobble hat there.
Yeah.
He's not rocking the umbrella. We've seen him past. Doesn't go down too well.
He looks all right. He does look all right. He looks all right. I'll give him that. He looks all right.
Good start.
If you're wearing a bobble hat like that, you've got to slightly pull it back. You can't have it fully.
Right. You know that. Look at all that. Very good knowledge. Yeah.
You can't pull it fully down.
What else have you got for us in Social Corner?
For Clinton, we've got loads of questions coming in for you already. But what do you think of the current state of the Irish national team?
Oh, wow. How much questions I've been asked about this. It's not good at the moment. It's not good. I think it's the right appointment in Mick McCarthy. Me personally, I probably would have tried to get Chris Hughton, but I know he doesn't want to leave the Brighton. But Mick McCarthy's good. He gave me my debut. He's a terrific manager. He'll get the best out of them. But the players need to stand up now. The style of football is not good. We need to keep the ball more on the international level, and that's not what we're not good at the moment. We are struggling like that. But it is a great appointment, and hopefully Irish football can now kick on under Mick McCarthy.
What do you make of Robbie Keane jumping in there as well?
I think that was the best. Mick McCarthy is good, but that was the best ever. Because Robbie Keane, me personally, is probably the best striker I played with out my career. The movement, Smithy, you would say, at Tottenham, his movement and finishing, second to none. So if you're a young Irish striker trying to break through, he's the best man. The finishing sessions that he'll put on will be fantastic. I was learning from him when I was in the squad, watching him, and he's brilliant. So that was a great appointment by Mick.
The amount of players that say that. We had Mido on the show on the Football Social last week. We've spoken to Berbatov as well in the past. 2 strikers, and yourself as well, who've played with a lot of other great strikers. But the amount of people that just say, I think the intelligence is an aspect of
That's what he is.
Game, isn't it?
And he's not
almost an underrated.
That's what I mean.
Trait.
He's not quick. But sometimes I was used to watching him and think, how are you always in goal one-on-one without no defenders? Best movement. The way he just goes short to spinning behind. I always say, young kids now, just go, if you can, go and watch Robbie Keane's highlights, because not the quickest, but intelligent footballer. And I always knew he'd go into management, because he loves and breathes football 24/7. That's all he talks about.
So great appointment.
Great appointment. Sometimes they say, Robbie, chill out a bit, maybe. So, but he just loves it. Yeah. But he's first class. A great appointment by Mick McCarthy.
Good questions as well.
Yeah,
any more for Clinton? Well, have you got a question for Clinton? Because you were very excited when Clinton was on, wasn't he?
Big Birmingham fan.
Why are you taking 3 photos already?
I want to know.
Yes, mate.
What's it like to score in the biggest derby in English football?
Listen, how long we got?
3 hours.
No goals yet, so you can milk it a little while.
It is the best thing ever, the best feeling. You talk about them derbies that was talked about when I went to Birmingham. I didn't know
how big they were?
I didn't know. Coming from London, I was this flash kid, and people coming up to me and saying, "Oh, you got a big derby." I was like, "Oh, whatever."
You were a flash kid?
Oh, yeah, well.
It's a goal!
Oh, chance!
Oh, Palace in the lead, Clinton!
We'll come back to a minute.
Sorry.
That's first goal of the day.
James MacArthur, the ball just clipped in from a free kick, flick on. It actually looked offside, but he just nipped in front of Fabianski and got a toe to it, and it's gone in. Clinton, celebrate, mate.
Clinton,
I'm buzzing. Come on.
First goal of the day to Crystal Palace.
Buzzing.
James
Now they got to hold on.
I think that's his 2nd goal of the season. Good one to pick up in your fantasy team.
Big goal. Here's the replay, Ash. Have a look at on this monitor here.
Van Arnholt just clipped it in. And it looks like the header's been won by Tompkins and then got in front. No one else
the West
around
Ham
him.
defenders, though?
Where's the marking?
They've just gone to sleep.
1-0 Palace, just onside.
They're opinion for an offside here, Ash.
And it looks like, I think it's Declan Rice is just playing him on. He's dropped a bit deeper than everyone else.
Fabianski has to be braver there.
Do you think?
I think he does. Like, come and take it. Well, no,
Clean everyone
done
out.
well. He's done well.
Done well. 1-0 Palace.
Big first goal for Palace.
It
They
is a
said earlier
massive
that goal scoring was their problem.
Yeah, it was. And I think to score a goal first here at West Ham, I think it's massive for them. They've got something to hold on to now.
And they are inconsistent, West Ham, aren't they? You never know which West Ham
You
is
never know which West... You're spot on, mate.
Going back to the story. Sorry, Will.
Sorry,
Will.
Sorry,
mate.
all
right.
Another goal! No, go on, back to you.
No, but and everyone used to say about how big it is, but I didn't think. Then when we got to the night and driving up to the game, it was an unbelievable atmosphere, and it's probably one of the best atmospheres I've played in. It's definitely up there. And then I just remember the goal like it was yesterday, because I just remember it. Ball being whipped in, Robbie Savage went to control it as he does, but it was such a poor touch. His first touch is always like that. He shin-knee toed it and played it in front to me, and I was just onto it quicker and just volleyed it into the bottom corner. Went into the corner, done my little dance celebration, which I always do, and they all jumped on me, the fans. It was one of the best. It was surreal. Couldn't hear myself. It was unreal, and I carried on scoring against them every time, nearly against Villa. Love it, mate.
Yeah. Woo! Just to wind up the Villa fans if there's any watching.
Exactly. They hate me anyway. No matter.
Let's go to our feature game. Obviously, Man United, Fulham. We spoke about both teams. Big game for both teams. Nearly points. Clinton, I know you've kept one eye on it. How have United started?
United have started well. United have started well. Fulham have been on the front foot as well. So it's been a good game. I do expect I know I predicted Man United to win, but I do expect Fulham to score a goal. Oh, there's a good chance there. But yeah, it's been a good open game. But I think Man United need to score early. If they're going at half time, it's going to give it's going to give Fulham loads of confidence.
It will, won't it?
Yeah, of course
it will. Do you think the crowd will start?
And the crowd will start. Yeah, because this is a game they expect to win. They expect them to win. They expect them to win. So.
Smithy, speaking of United, there's a question in here. Who do we think is United's back four, if indeed...
What, best back four?
Yeah.
Best back four.
I'd say...
So tough. No one's playing
I'd
well.
say it's a hard one. You'd either probably put Ashley Young or Valencia as the right back.
Yeah.
I don't know how Luke Shaw's not playing, because for me, I think he started the season really... I'd have him at left back.
So just saw that it looked like he picked up a knock in the warm-up, and Andres
did he?
Torreira's come on. He was on the bench,
Yeah,
and
he
he was
was.
banned for the last game, but he was back in contention. But it looks like he
So
picked up a knock.
unlucky injuries that.
Yeah.
But the two
brilliant.
centre halves, I think you can pick it out like that.
You can, can't you?
You can literally go like that.
But personally, as a United fan,
Yeah.
I'd love to see Bailly and Lindelof given like an
you?
extended run in the
I
team.
like Bailly.
But I just don't know if
I
it'll
think he's
happen.
got...
He's not done a lot wrong, Bailly, has he,
I
when
think
he's
you look
played?
at him, and I'm a centre forward. I think I don't want to play against him because I think
Really?
he's going to be aggressive all over me. He's quick.
Yeah.
I watched in a week when Aubameyang got played through. He matched him for
Yeah, he
pace
did,
and
yeah.
won the
It's
ball
true.
and
Yeah.
said, "Get off me," and then got the crowd going.
That's a good second
Yeah.
question then, in picking the back four. Who is the one? Would it be Bailly, as a former striker yourself, that you'd like to play against the least?
Yes,
Is that
the least.
one?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's out of Man United. Is the least.
And
Yeah.
the one that you'd like to play against the most?
Oh, Phil Jones.
Really?
I'm only joking. Maybe, I don't know, to be fair. I don't know. They're all good defenders. You wouldn't be at Man United if you're not a good defender. They're all good. But probably Lindelof.
Yeah.
I'd say Lindelof. Because Jones he is good. I know he gets a lot of stick, but he is a good defender.
He's never kicked on. He's never.
You always see pictures of him with... Yeah, he's never kicked on to that level where he should have been.
Nah, never.
So,
Good question.
there might come a time where he'll have to move on from
Yeah,
Man
it'd be interesting
United.
to see how that one unfolds.
Yeah.
It'll be at Everton in 2 years' time.
Do you think?
mate.
Yeah.
Oh!
Chance, one of your games, Ash, what happened?
Sorry, Ash.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm watching. Oh, he's offside. He's offside. Will.
Oh, he's offside.
Oh, come on,
Sorry,
mate.
Will. Come
Sorry,
on.
should
Remember the
qualify.
roles, Ash. Will, that is your role. Will, that's your role.
Sorry, mate.
Don't worry.
Ash won't miss anything.
I was
Don't
just
worry
going to ask
about
you a great question.
that. Well, what's the great question?
Jack Bagshaw says, do you think Tottenham will slip up and sneak out of the top four by the end of the season? Great show, lads. Keep it up. Hashtag
I like the
Football
second
Social.
bit of
Oh,
that.
good
Didn't like
lads.
the first bit of that.
No.
No, because you know what I am as well, mate.
Yeah, you're a big Spurs fan.
Big
as well.
Spurs fan, yeah.
It's a good question. I think that the third, fourth, and fifth place is very tight, very tight. Yeah. And I think third is up for grabs. To be honest, I've said all season I think City will win the league and Liverpool second, so I'll stick with that. I think third is anyone. I thought Chelsea have really adapted well under Sarri, but I think they've been found out a little bit in the last few weeks, especially against Wolves as well. I mean, Spurs game. Arsenal, I've been very impressed actually with how quickly he's managed to implement his game plan. And what I love about Emery as well actually is how quickly he adapts to losing situations. The double sub against Spurs at 2-1 down.
Brilliant.
Unbelievable.
Yes, unreal, Smithy, you're right. Unreal.
So it's so hard to call. I do think Spurs will finish top four. If I had to put a bet on it now, I would go with Chelsea and Spurs, third and fourth.
So United and Arsenal to miss out?
I definitely think United
I'd agree with that.
Definitely
I think Tottenham will get in. I think in January they'll sign a couple of players and improve the squad. And I think Tottenham are there or thereabout. It was a terrible performance against Arsenal, though.
It was, wasn't it?
It was terrible.
Weird, wasn't it?
But I think Arsenal, Emery got his plan spot on.
Yeah.
And at half-time, as you said, substitution.
It was just
turning point.
How quickly he turned it around was
Ridiculous.
just really impressive.
But he's a brilliant manager.
I have been surprised how quickly Emery has impacted
Jealous?
Arsenal. Not jealous.
There's a bit of jealousy in your voice there.
Spurs have got a great manager as well.
Exactly.
I respect and love him. Stays in the club. Yeah. 31 points Arsenal, 31 points Chelsea, 33 Tottenham.
Facts.
You know, facts, and it could all change. But good question. Will, should we stay with you? But before we go to Ash to get an update around the grounds,
Yes, definitely.
What other questions have you got for us?
Lots of questions coming in as well. Who do we think, Clinton? We've got you're a fantastic striker, but who do you think will be the top goal scorer by the end of the
Good question,
season?
Ash.
Oh, that's a great question. I think it will be Harry. Well, tell a lie. Salah's just scored a hat-trick today.
What a goal! Get in!
Man United won, Fulham nil. Clinton Morrison, talk us through it.
All I know is going to the top corner, but it's Ashley Young. He picked the ball up, beat one or two players, and then smashed it into the top corner. It is an unbelievable finish from Ashley Young. And yeah, he used to do that in his days against Watford, but the way he picked the ball up here, look here.
Fantastic
He goes
goal.
past the doy like he's not. Look, chops him. See you later, mate. Through them. A bit lucky there, but it's a fantastic finish.
Lovely finish. Should Fabianski do better, do you think? We're just looking at the replay now. Little nutmeg in there.
Absolute
No, I think it's a
Sergio Rico
great
can't get near
Rico
that.
can't get there. It's a
We're
great
getting
finish.
on the can.
Look at Ash, very happy.
Come on,
Adoy,
get
oh,
in.
it's a nutmeg through Adoy.
Oh, it's a
in the
fantastic
box.
finish.
Lovely
Adoy,
What a finish.
terrible.
Bends it into the top corner.
It is a great
Exactly
finish.
what we needed. Early goal. Get in.
12 minutes on the clock. Man United 1, Fulham 0. Ashley Young gives Man United the lead. Ash, let's catch up with you. Watching the other 4 games.
Yeah.
Anything going on in the other 4 games?
Yeah, West Ham had a chance to equalise. Hernandez was kind of slipped through, little 1-2 on the edge of the box. He just almost fell as he struck it, but Hennessy made a good save. And Cardiff were actually unlucky. Sean Morrison was in the area, went down the right and he cut back like really nicely and put the ball across, but they just couldn't get a finish on the end of it. Very unlucky. Nothing too much to report from Burnley Brighton though.
No,
nothing yet.
Burnley Brighton.
No, nothing yet. But don't worry, goals will come.
Interesting going with Gunnarsson there, calling for a towel because I think we're going to see one of his
long
trademark
throws.
long throws here.
Long throws.
Does he stick with you for this long throw?
Yeah, go on then. It's absolutely flying in. Morrison's looking to flick it on, and nothing.
Nothing.
Away. Free kick given.
That was like the Rory Delap days. Remember Rory Delap? Every time Stoke had a throw, they'd get the towel. They had a ball boy that just had the towel.
I was with him the other day and I was saying to him...
What, the ball boy?
No, not the ball boy. Rory Delap.
Yeah, just clarify.
Rory Delap, not the ball boy. And I used to say to him, that's what made him the player, I think.
Yeah.
Like, listen, he was a good footballer as well, but I felt bad about that. I don't know in case he's watching. I'm not hammering you, Rory, but a long throw probably got you in a lot of teams.
Clinton Morrison, goals, top striker. Rory Delap.
Long throw,
Towel.
I've got a great quiz question that centres around Rory Delap.
Oh, go on.
So I was watching, shout out Eurofootball Day, I was watching Stat Wars the other day.
Yes.
So Rory Delap is one of them, but name the 3 other players who have played 100 Premier League games for 3 clubs.
Oh, 100 Premier League games for 3 clubs. James Milner.
Correct.
He's clever, him.
He's got it in his ear. He's got it in his ear. I just heard it in his ear. Unbelievable. He's cheating.
Not general knowledge.
Emil Heskey.
No. Oh. Not a bad shout, though.
Good question. And get involved in the comments right now because
when you say 100 Premier League games.
Premier League games for 3 different clubs.
100 Premier League games for 3
Yeah.
Premier League clubs. Gareth Barry.
Correct.
Oh,
that is a great shout. There's more than... He's in the
Is there one more now?
There's one
more in there.
Oh.
So who's old?
Smithy's ticking.
Who is old? Still playing?
No.
Oh, yeah, I can't take the credit for Gareth Barry. I heard that one before. We've got a lot of talented people in the gallery working tirelessly.
Anyone in the comments?
Well, there's meant to be one.
But James Milner was
I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I'm going to give it to you.
Give us a clue.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you. It's Gary Speed. Gary Speed was the last one. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But great quiz question.
Good quiz question.
Yeah.
Good quiz question. Rory Delap. Do you know what would have been...
Oh, Chris Smalling. He's just gone to play a 15-yard pass and he's put it into row Z.
Ash. That's not your game. I keep
Sorry.
this.
We're swapping roles.
Sorry. I just flipped over
But that
for a
was
second.
good technique.
Yeah, thank you, Clinton.
That was great technique from Chris Smalling.
Wasn't it?
Rosette.
Do you ask that quiz question? They were quite easy answers. The tough one would have been
Rory
Delap.
No one would have got the Rory Delap.
No one would have got Rory Delap.
Go and watch Stat Wars. Great episode, that one.
We have to get on.
Arsenal on the attack here. We haven't spoken about Arsenal yet. Chance for Arsenal. Bellerin slipped through. Oh,
that's all
quick off his line. We're sort of all keeping an eye on Arsenal. Ash, how have Arsenal started against Huddersfield? Because this is a game that, I mean, speaking to a lot of Arsenal fans, they'll expect to win this one, won't they?
Yes, they would expect to win this one. They've been all right, but honestly, no major chances. That's probably the most they've carved them open. It's just been a bit bitty. There've been a couple of little breaks, but nothing of note yet for them.
Yeah, Huddersfield's last league win over Arsenal was a 2-1 in a top-flight game at Leeds Road, January 1971. Here's a bit of trivia for you. Clive Dunn was at #1 in the charts with Grandad. No idea.
How's that go?
I don't know.
Grandad, we love you. Is that on?
Is that the right one?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Do you know the words there?
Thanks, mate. No, that's it. That's all I got.
My calendar director knows that, which is great.
Yeah.
But none of us on the sofa do, so we can't give you a rendition. Coming to you, Will, Social Corner. What else have you got for us? Had some great questions so far. Keep them coming.
Vortex 24. Clinton, where do you see West Ham finishing this season? We spoke about they're a bit Jekyll and Hyde at the moment.
I think West Ham finish in the top 10.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do believe West Ham will. I think they've got the players. Obviously, I know Arnautovic injured at the moment. Terrific talent. If they can keep hold of him, that's if they keep hold of him in January, because there's murmurs he's having his head turned by his agent and stuff like that. So hopefully he can stay there, because when he's on his game, Arnautovic is one of the best players around.
What was that like for you? Did you ever get, like, when you were playing for such highly rated clubs as Birmingham City?
Yes,
did you,
honestly, mate.
did your agent ever get in your ear and, like, say there's interest from...
To be fair, I think his agent's his brother. So your agent would never get in your ear. You would probably he'd have rumours and then come to you and ask you, are you interested? And if your head's turned, it's a bigger club, you instantly think, yeah, I'd have some of that. And then you go in and you speak to your own, you know, the manager of the clubs and obviously the chairmen of the club and see what happens. I remember when I came to Birmingham, I kind of forced it with Crystal Palace, with Simon Jordan. He didn't want to let me, but I said, it's Premier League football. Let me go to Birmingham.
Yeah.
But he just didn't like Steve Bruce at the time
because of
how he left.
Before, yeah.
At that time, he likes him now. But I forced the move through, and it kind of was good because I had a good spell at Birmingham and really enjoyed it. And I managed to go back to Palace, so everyone was happy. And they got Andy Johnson. So there you go, it was a great bit of business.
Speaking of forcing the move through, were you there at the same time as well? Savage forced his move through.
Yeah, I was there.
What was that
there.
like? What was your opinion?
We all
on
knew,
doing
like, he said he wanted to be closer to home. Then he
was
went
further away!
Further away. So, but Savage was a big comedian at the club. But everyone, we wanted to keep him. And he's not only a comedian, but he was a decent footballer as well. I know a lot of people, he gets mocked, but he could play. He could play football. Yeah. He was good. He loved that ball round the corner. But he was just hoping his strikers were there, so we made it a good pass. But nah, he worked ever so hard, and he was a good professional as well, Sav. Good player, very underrated.
Loved him.
Good question, good Birmingham.
Yes.
Any non-Birmingham-related questions?
This could be a Birmingham show,
Could be a Birmingham show, yeah.
Nothing there, Smithy. No. Alfonso says, if Man United lose today, will Jose be sacked?
No, I don't think he will be. I think he'll be given till after the Christmas run at least. And then we'll be 10th.
Chance for Fulham.
Oh, Mitrovic, good play.
First chance for Fulham.
Yeah, it is.
That one.
It was good play. The ball was played in by Kearney to Mitrovic. He had a runner on the outside, Brighton, but he cut inside, but he didn't get the shot away cleanly, and it was easy save for David De Gea. But after the mistake he made in a week, you have to watch that onto him, and it was a comfortable save. But for me, De Gea still is the best goalkeeper in the world.
Still number one.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I put Lloris up there in the top 3 or 4, but for me, David De Gea, exceptional.
Interesting as well. Fulham have obviously... It wasn't a great shot, as you quite rightly said. It was easy said, but they got in quite easily. Which is a worry for United.
It's been an even... Listen, the goal that Man United scored, it was a wonder goal.
Yeah.
It was a great bit of play from Ashley Young. Without that, Man United haven't really created any chances, Smithy. It's not been good. Look, the ball... I'll tell you one thing, what I've noticed. The ball has been coming up to Lukaku, and it has been sticking. Yeah. So it looks like today he's got the bit between his teeth, and that's what you need. When you're the striker by yourself, you have to be the focal point. Everything goes through you, and that's it. And Matic is getting on the ball.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? And just as you said
just
that,
as I said
probably the worst pass I've ever seen.
But then Lukaku's turned it into a good one. Fair play to him for his work rate. So yeah, you're right. And a good ball.
It's in. Chance for United still in the box.
Ashley Young. Good play. Ashley Young looks like their best attacking.
Yeah, quite an open game. Ashley Young getting a lot of joy down that left-hand side. Let's go to Ash, who's watching the other 4 games. Ash, how have Arsenal Huddersfield been getting on? A lot of Arsenal fans on the stream. How have Arsenal started?
They are the better team, but they have not made any openings, nothing of note. It's a shame, actually. I thought they'd really go out from the off and attack Huddersfield, but they haven't. Huddersfield are actually playing quite well, holding their own.
And the other 3 games?
Nothing too much of note. Palace are growing, actually, in the game. They've had a nice bit of footwork by Max Meyer down on the left, and he was unlucky not to get his shot away. Cardiff, another long throw coming in. And Burnley Brighton still waiting for the first chance in that game, actually.
And we've seen again, is that Goodison?
The towel's
Every
out.
time I look at Cardiff, this isn't even a joke. It wouldn't be a fun one if it was. But Goodison is on the touchline with a towel and the ball again. It's another Cardiff long throw. We'll stay with Ash for this one.
Flick, done one more. Oh, he got the flick on there. That was good.
This is their game plan, isn't it? Just long throws all day.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
That's Neil Warnock for you, Smithy. I played for him. That's all he worries about is set pieces, long throw, especially if he's got someone long throw. He used to do my head in. I respect him as a manager.
Go on, let's get an insight.
I do respect him
for quite a while.
I was there. When he first came in, I didn't like him. He came into the training ground and he's like, everyone put your shin pads on. I'm not putting my shin pads on. I never train with shin pads. Well, you're not going to train. Well, I won't train then. I'll go in. And then I went in, and the next day I came out and thought, no, I'm not missing training. I like football too much. Yeah. Put the shin pads on. He had a bag of balls in the middle of the pitch, 2 sets of teams out, and he used to kick the ball up in the air and say, go and smash each other. I said, Gaffer, that's not football. That is not football. That is so old school, dinosaur-like football. And he was like, well, that's how I want my teams to compete. But you know what? Fair play to him. He played me on the left of a front 3, and that season I scored 23, 24 goals, and he went, listen, it's harder to be picked up from there than being the out-and-out striker. Because I moaned, I said, I'm running back to my goal too much. I want to score goals.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, more managers are noticing you. So, and now I get on well with him. What he used to do at the end of every month is show a DVD of my goals to the young players. Because I always
love that.
I was buzzing. I used to walk in like, yeah, the big man's coming in. But you know what? It was all because, yeah, of course. It was all, no, but because I scored a lot of goals in a 6-yard box, he would say it's not fluky, and it would be like reactions, like someone's had a header and I'm in front of the defender. He said that's not luck. He said Clinton was born to score goals there. So it's just about movement. Where I just start on the goalie, peel off back post, because you know defenders so dozy, they'll just watch the ball. So as soon as they watch it, I'm looking for anything
So
second.
dozy.
So if a centre defender flicks it on, I'm there back post for a tap in. I was the best in 1 yard. They used to call me Lineker.
Did they?
There you go. Yeah, the black Lineker. That's what they used to say. It's quality.
We're laughing about the DVD thing, but
Yeah,
on a serious note,
he did, Smithy,
it was for the young players, and they learnt from that.
It was for all the young players because we had youngsters in our team who didn't know how to take up positions. So he was like, take up good position. It's not fluky. He said Clinton has scored loads of goals through his career in and around the 6-yard box. So that's not luck. He said it's not luck. It's because he knows about good movement, where to be. And I just used to know that defenders are going to follow the flight of the ball. So I just get into a position where I'm not marked.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. Listen, sometimes I did think it was luck because sometimes it would go off my back, my arm.
Yeah.
But they all count,
right
don't
time,
they?
isn't
There
it?
you go,
exactly,
Smithy.
right time. So your relationship with him changed quite a lot over the years, then?
Oh, it's brilliant now. I see him now. He gives me the biggest hug, like we're the best friends and everything. I should have stayed at Palace, but what he said to me is, I'm not going to offer you a new contract, and then I left to went Coventry because you are too friendly with the chairman, because me and Simon Jordan were so close.
Really?
Like, yeah, every time I score, I used to go out to Simon Jordan and just be like, oh, there you go, mate. I've got another goal bonus there. Don't worry about it. You have to pay out again. Like, stuff like that. And he didn't like our relationship.
Right.
So he thought,
Right.
and anything happened, he thought I was always going to the chairman. I weren't. We just kind of had that relationship. And he said, I'm not going to offer you. And I threw my toys out of the pram and said, all right, I'm going to leave. I shouldn't have left. I should have stayed at Palace. That's my only regret in football. That one time when I left there, that I've loved it. I loved my career. To be a professional footballer was a dream come true. But that was the only regret I had, leaving Palace at that time after falling out with Warnock. But we get on now. We're friends.
And
every time he sees me.
your only regret, is that something you still think about to this day?
Oh, definitely, mate.
Really?
You know why? Because it made me miss out on a testimonial, Smithy. No, not really.
Great reason.
No, not really. No, I do regret it because I loved it and I was the 4th all-time goal scorer there. I could have gone on and probably been the 2nd. So it does hurt me, and I always say that Palace fans always ask me that question, and that is my biggest regret in football. That I don't have any other regrets, because being a professional footballer, it's every kid's dream, and I live my dream. But that was the biggest regret.
OK, interesting. Palace fans as well, get involved in the stream.
Yeah.
To Willie's on our socials, get involved, Palace fans, Birmingham fans. Any questions to Clinton? I have to say he's very honest. He will answer any of them,
definitely.
I've got to say. So any questions you want to answer, get them involved on the stream. Will, anything going on? Sorry, Will, Ash? Anything going on in other your games?
Cardiff nearly scored. Murphy did some great work down the left, came inside, and he cut back past the defender, and McCarthy just got his hands to the ball just before he could shoot. But that's the closest Cardiff have come. Very unlucky.
So Southampton, a bit disappointing so far, then.
Do you know what? They've had one chance with Charlie Austin and nothing else since. There's been you couldn't tell the difference between a Hughes team and a Hassan Hüttl team yet.
Too early, you think?
Yeah, it's too early to tell like massive differences now.
Okay.
But it looks like they're setting up a bit differently. It looks like it's a bank of 4 at the back and then almost like a 2-2-2, weirdly, where they've got the 2 sitting midfielders, Højbjerg and Lamina, and then there's a kind of, it's almost like free moving ahead of them, but it's almost like two banks again. It's quite
I find it interesting with his... in his press conference, he was saying he might not be able to turn results. He can't guarantee anything because he hasn't managed a Premier League game yet, but he said he will change the way they play. He's big on his philosophy, isn't he? He wants to implement his own coaching style, which he did very well at RB Leipzig.
Well, at RB Leipzig, but then he also had Keita, Forsberg, Timo Werner. He had some really, really good players at Leipzig. Not saying that he hasn't got a good base of players at Southampton, but I think he had like real star quality. But it'll be interesting to see. Maybe he'll do some business in January. Who knows? Bring in some players, but interesting.
Will, social corner?
Yeah, back to sort of Mourinho chat. Obviously, it was quite extreme to say he'd go if Fulham were to win today. But looking if they don't reach the Champions League, the top 4 places, do you think he should go, or who should come in?
I mean, as a United fan, I think he should go as soon as possible because it just doesn't seem to be working out for him at the club. I think it'd be. I don't know who you replace him with now.
That's
it's a very strange.
Who do you
But
get?
actually, Man United should be in the top four. The club of that stature. Hold on,
Chance
there's a
for Man
chance
United
there.
to make it 2.
Goal!
Yes! Come on!
Old Trafford.
Get
Man
it,
United
Mata.
2,
Yes!
Fulham 0. Juan Mata. Clinton Morrison, how impressed you with this one?
This was a very good goal. It's a good teamwork goal. And this, Rashford gets a lot of criticism about he doesn't get his head up, but he did ever so well here. Ball was played into the channel by Lukaku, who did well out wide, rolls it into Rashford. And Rashford gets his head up and picks Juan Mata out, coming on the edge. And it's a great finish from Mata. Side foot finish, left foot, right past Rico into the bottom corner. Fantastic finish. But
very unselfish here
from Rashford. He gets his head up. It's a great pick. Still a young player, still learning the game. He's a terrific player, Rashford, and I'm glad he's playing more regularly now. And Mata is very underrated. It doesn't get enough game time, Smithy.
No.
Very good finish. Every time he comes in and plays for Man United, he always delivers.
Yeah, Juan Mata, 49 goals and 49 assists in the Premier League. Make that 50 goals. Great finish from Juan Mata.
50th Premier League goal.
All going Jose Mourinho's way today. Man United 2, Fulham 0 after 28 minutes.
Clinton, as a former professional footballer, can I ask you about the technique on that Mata finish? Because he's got one of the best technical left foots I've ever seen.
That's a great...
And the way the ball came across, you see so many balls come across like that and the player leans back and shanks it over.
You're totally right.
Totally where he is good as well is first time finish.
Yeah, that is the first time. Most people, probably it was someone in that position, they would have took a big touch.
Yeah, yeah.
And by you took the touch, you closed your you closed your space. But it wasn't just a finish, because 9 times out of 10 you would go back where it came from.
Yeah.
So you'd go back. But he saw that Rico was on too far over this side. It's a very cultured finish.
Clever, isn't it?
Yeah, and that is him. The Matter is like that, very cultured and clever.
Very technical one, Matthew, isn't he? And
good.
Ash, positivity is that Man United, as things stand, have a positive goal difference.
And we are 6th in the league. Massive chance,
Arsenal.
Lacazette! Oh,
Ash,
my
what
word!
happened at the Emirates?
He is ballooned. That's 2 chances in 2 minutes for Arsenal. Aubameyang missed the sitter like 6 yards out. He just volleyed it wide. And Lacazette, that has gone so far over the bar. It's unbelievable. Guendouzi, great bit of work. Got in the inside channel, played the ball across. And Lacazette has got to do so much better there. Just seeing a replay, he's got so much time on the penalty spot and just he slips. He slips and he's ballooned it over the bar. That's 2 big chances. 2 big chances for Arsenal.
Disappointed with that.
They should be 1-0 up, definitely.
Yeah, first start in 5 games for Alexander Lacazette, interestingly.
That's interesting he's using him off the bench a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, 24 goals in 56 appearances for Arsenal, of which 18 have come at home. So, as a former striker, Clint, that's not a bad record, is it?
The partner, I think them two are 2 very good strikers, Lacazette and Aubameyang. They score goals.
Aubameyang, top goal scorer in the Premier League.
And a lot of those have been coming off the bench and playing from the left. I think the partnership between them two, if you can fit them both in the team, playing up front as a pair, I think they could cause problems. I think they're friends off the pitch. It's a bit like, I'm not going to say they're as good as what they are, but Dwight York and Andy Cole, if you can get an understanding like that together on the pitch, they'll do ever so well. But they both score goals.
20 goals in 28 Premier League appearances, Aubameyang. I mean, he's worth every penny, isn't he?
Definitely. I think he's one of the best strikers around there. He produced it at Dortmund, where he used to deliver week in. Now he's come to the best league in the world, in my eyes, the Premier League, and he's producing here.
Clinton, as a centre-forward, did you prefer playing with a centre-forward with you or on your own?
Oh, no, but back in my day when, years and years and years ago.
Wasn't that long ago?
When the TV was black and white. No, I'm only joking. We always played with a 2. I'd rather play with a 2.
Everyone had a 2.
Everyone had a 2. And I was the small, little, quick one, so I played with Heskey. It was the big one.
Yeah.
And he did all the horrible work, and I'd get all the goals. And people forget that. They're just watching the goal scorer. You're not watching the other guy who does all the unselfish stuff. But that was me making the runs in the channel. It's not until I got a bit older or I became the other guy, because you lose your legs start going, you lose your pace, and you have to come back to goal. So I worked on my game, having how to hold the ball up, what runs to make there, and making sensible runs, not just running for the sake of it. I was always told the best thing as centre-forwards, not to run channels. Roy Keane gave me this information. Stop running out channels. You're not going to score goals in the channels. Stay in the width of the 18-yard box.
Yeah.
That's where you'll score goals and do your damage. So you get great bit of advice like that from someone like that who's played with probably the best strikers in the world.
I remember when Louis van Gaal was at United, he gave that same advice to Rashford. He said, stay within the width of the goal, and that's where you'll get your goals.
That's where you score goals. You won't score goals. If you're running into the channels, keep running in the channels. When the ball comes in the box, you're never in there to score goals.
I tell you what, that's what Lukaku does a lot. He seems to get... You saw just 2 minutes ago, he was getting pulled out wide. And he's the one putting the ball in the box, where, as your number 9 and centre forward, maybe you just stick him up, stay in the middle of the box.
I'd say stay in the width.
Yeah.
and do your... Because Lukaku is not technically unbelievable, so he's not going to cause problems down there. So stay in the box when balls gets delivered, and that's where you come alive.
Apart from yourself in the Premier League, obviously, I think the best I saw was that as Van Nistelrooy.
Oh,
he was so good in the penalty
box. How good
box,
was that? Ruud was clinical.
He was
that goal he scored against
clinical.
Fulham for Man United.
Oh,
He
yeah.
ran around the whole thing.
Yeah, he
and opened his body up so quickly.
Great finishing.
I think he scored one goal from outside the box as a United player.
Yeah.
Oh, massive chance for Southampton.
Chance for Southampton at
Lemina.
Cardiff. What happened?
Corner swung in right under the bar, and Etheridge and the defenders, they've got it out somehow, but it's bounced towards just past the penalty spot to Lemina. And it's one of those bouncing volleys where he has to get his body over it, and he just hasn't caught it well.
Tough technique, but you expect him to hit the target from there.
Yeah, he should do. He hasn't no pressure on him as well. He should really be doing better. He's a classy player as well. He should be doing better than that.
Yes, let's just quickly remind you of the scores from today. Liverpool winning at Bournemouth 4-0 in the early kick-off. Mo Salah with a hat-trick, Steve Cook with an own goal. It's currently 0-0 between Arsenal and Huddersfield at the Emirates. Burnley 0, Brighton 0, Cardiff 0, Southampton 0, and Man United find themselves 2-0 up at Old Trafford against Fulham with goals from Ashley Young and Juan Mata. West Ham 0, Crystal Palace 1, thanks to James MacArthur. Chelsea play Man City this evening, and Leicester play Spurs this evening as well. So loads of games, loads of goals. We will be updating you with all the goals as they go in today. Will, let's go to Social Corner.
Yeah, question in from Mark Caldwell. Do we think Manchester City, if not this season, can they do a whole season unbeaten?
I think they can do it this season.
Yeah.
I literally do. Someone asked me this yesterday, and I do believe they can. I think their biggest game will be when they... Obviously, they've got Chelsea today, haven't they? So that's a difficult game at Stamford
Away
Bridge.
as well.
Away at Stamford Bridge is a difficult one. And then when they next play Liverpool. But other than that, I do think with the players that they've got and the squad that he's built, they've got a great chance of doing it.
And then more questions for you, Clinton. A lot of people wanting to get some stories from that wonderful run in 2002 in Japan and Korea with Ireland. What was
I knew
that
a lot
like
of people would want to get that story. That story's the best story.
It is the best
How long
story.
we got? I've told it loads now. No, the actual tournament was brilliant. I think, obviously, what happened with Roy Keane in the build-up towards the tournament starting was... It wasn't brilliant. No. It wasn't good. So I get on well with Roy Keane, but it wasn't good. And obviously the whole build-up kind of galvanised the squad and took us further. But with him, I think we would have beat Spain on that day. Yeah. We lost on penalties. Yeah, I think we would have beat them. We missed the penalty in normal time through Ian Hart. And Hart usually always scores these penalties. And then we ended up losing. But it was disappointing. But actually, the build-up to it was not good. And it was... I could break it down for you. It was a quick thing of... Roy Keane he likes everything done professionally. So he met McCarthy and said, I want everything done professional. But we went to this place in the World Cup, and it was like a warm-up base. But if we waited a day, we went to this place called Chibu, which we actually stayed at. It was the best facilities ever. But we went to this place, and even I looked. We went on this training ground. Mate, it had potholes, like it was wobbly. It looked like the fire engine had been out there, like literally 5 minutes before trying to water the pitch. So he was fuming there. Steve Finnan rolled his ankle and he was getting a hump, right? And then to top it off, the goalies had been out, it was hot. The goalies had been out earlier and done warm-up. So they were too tired to play in the game at the end. He said, too tired. So he went ballistic, started having a massive argument with Paki Bonner, like ripped his top off. And I was like, uh-oh, this guy's losing it. Because you hear a lot of stories about Roy Keane. Yeah. He's coming from a boxing family. So I'm like, I'm young then. I'm like, so if I'm 20, 21, thinking, what's going on here? It's international football, but this is going on. So we managed to persuade him to stay. And then this is the best bit. Like, so we're on a beach somewhere, and me and him are walking on the beach. We talked for like half an hour. I always used to getting in his mind, talk about football. He said, make sure you're not here to make up the numbers, make sure you play, telling me things to do. So he was happy. So then when we're around the dinner table, we have a sing-song, so you have to sing all the Irish songs. Obviously, I know all the Irish songs, I'm a legend, innit? So, so I'm singing all the songs, and I remember it, I'm sat here, like, I'm there, Steve Finnan's here, and you're Roy Keane. So Mick McCarthy comes in. I know you're buzzing by that. Mick McCarthy comes in with a piece of paper. He wanted no one to do interviews about the conditions and stuff like that. Roy had done an interview, how bad it was here and stuff like that. So basically, I think Mick, if he thinks about it now, could have handled it different. Don't approach Roy in front of all the players because we're having dinner and we're having a great little time together. So he approaches him, Roy starts going ballistic, they start arguing. But I'm like, I can't believe you're arguing with the national manager here in front of... Oh, great save from Rico from Rashford. I can't believe...
That's a separate part.
That is a separate part.
That's the game,
but I can't believe you're arguing in front of the manager here at 2002 World Cup. So they're arguing, And then the arguments that are coming out is ridiculous. He's like, you're not even Irish, you're English anyway.
I bet you've got your head in your hands.
Few people born in England I put my head under the table and went, uh-oh, here we go. And then he went, you're not even a good player. You had a poor first touch, and you're a poor manager. The only manager I respect is Sir Alex Ferguson. He was just throwing insults. Mick was throwing insults back. I could see Roy getting up. I could see them gradually going to walk, and I thought, here we go. Battles the big head here. He's got a big head, and Mick's head is massive. So I thought,
big head?
Yeah, I thought, here we go. This is massive heads going together. But the players got in beside them, and then Roy said, go on, what are you going to do, Mick?
Yeah.
Make a decision. And listen, you have to make... You can't speak to the manager like that. Listen, it probably was the hardest decision he had to make, but he sent him home. And within 2 days... He's back at home on the news, walking his dog in his horrendous Theodora tracksuit. Remember it?
Other tracksuits do exist.
Exactly.
I do remember that.
That was
Massive tracksuit.
Baggy tracksuit.
And he never returned for the World Cup.
Never returned. We tried to get him back. He did have talk that he could, but once you put the squad in, you couldn't change it. And I think, me personally, he would have made a big difference to our squad, but... The ones that came in done a terrific job. But that is Roy Keane. One minute he's there, 2 days later he's walking the dog and he just forgets about the World Cup.
That's mad, isn't it?
Sometimes you just got to button your lip and get on with it.
Yeah. Did you ever talk to him afterwards? Did he have any regrets?
He came back into the squad. And there was a few players that did articles about him. And it made me laugh because...
Yeah, I remember this.
I had a little moment. I think one was Matt Holland and there was a seat there next to Matt Holland to have dinner. Right, I'm not sitting next to him. Roy went and sat somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, because they kind of like digged him out.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes in situations... And Matt Holland's a lovely guy. I speak to Matt all the time. But sometimes in a situation like that, it's best to say nothing because eventually Roy will come back.
What's the story?
At the corner of my eye there, I can see a goal for Burnley. Can you?
I mean, he's got stories, he's got goals.
Exactly.
Give it up for Clinton Morris.
Thank you.
There has been a goal. Ash, talk us through this.
I saw it. I couldn't interrupt that story.
Sorry,
the ball
Ash.
came in. Don't be silly. Please carry on. It was punched out by the keeper and it bounced and it came towards the edge of the box. Jack caught it on the volley. Goal, Burnley. That's 2 in 2 for Jack.
Big goal for Burnley. 2 goals in 2 games for Jack Court. But, of course, he scored in the last game against Liverpool and they still lost that game 3-1. So Burnley need to hold on to this. Sean Dyche badly needing the points, Ash.
Yeah, ball whipped in and then flicked back in and then the keeper gets a punch to it and it lands penalty spot.
Scrappy
He
goal,
volleys it home.
finish, I suppose.
Scrappy goal, but you'll take that all day long as a Burnley fan, won't you? 1-0 Burnley, Jack Cork.
Feisty in this Arsenal game, really.
Yeah, what's happened in the Arsenal game?
Danny Williams got booked.
I think Tarkowski's trying to claim it because it came off him.
There's a few bookings, isn't there? It's quite a physical game between Arsenal and Huddersfield. The referees... There's been a passage of play where no football has taken place because the ref has been speaking to a lot of players. Shakira? It's a singer.
Shakira.
Socrates. Yeah,
the way they're playing, they need Shakira at the moment.
The way they're playing, they need Shakira, yeah. Socrates and Xhaka together is Shakira. Anyway, they've... it's a strong tackle from Socrates.
That is meaty.
Is lucky to get away with the yellow there, Clinton? What do you think of this tackle?
It is a yellow. You know why? He don't jump with the 2 feet, so that's probably why. But, yeah, he's gone with 1 foot, but it is a naughty tackle.
Huddersfield not happy with that one, but it is a yellow card.
Yeah. Clinton, James Tarkowski is claiming that goal. It's a Cork volley and it's literally just deflected off Tarkowski. As a goal scorer,
I'd claim
fuming.
Yeah,
wait, are you Tarkowski in that situation?
He's either. He's claiming it now.
I'm claiming it. If Cork goes that way, I'm running that way. And I'm hoping the team come with me.
In fact, Clinton's actually claiming this actual goal.
I am claiming it. Yeah, I'm claiming that.
I'm Neil Clinton Morrison.
Put that, yeah.
Goal! Goal for Man United!
Come on!
All Man United!
Get in!
3-0!
And it is Lukaku.
Is it Lukaku?
I didn't see it.
But please, I do not like this. If you've got the hump with someone, Lukaku, celebrate. He looks moody.
Yes.
Celebrate. He's not even happy.
You're not happy with this?
No, I'm not happy because he's not celebrating. And he's not smiling. Oh, there he is. He's had a smile now. I want my strikers to be happy. Be happy.
Well, you are a striker. It's a goal from a striker. Talk us through.
Mata is offside.
One Mata's offside. It's not given.
But he has given it. He's given the goal. He has given the goal. His arm was offside, but the lineman's not seen it.
Yeah. Lovely pass.
Lovely pass from Lingard. And you know these players that get in these positions, Mata, where you just get your head up. First time ball, and Lukaku has a simple task of tapping. It's a striker's dream. Yeah. It's a striker's dream.
Great from Lingard. Great from
Mata. Oh, he's offside.
It's a lovely finish from Lukaku.
I'm happy for Lukaku, but just show a bit more emotions for me. You're playing for one of the biggest teams in the world. You've been getting a lot of stick. Just go around it. Even if you want to do that to your ears to shut...
You're not happy with the celebration,
No, he just stood there like... He does that you don't do it every week.
My word.
But I want you to show a bit of emotion. Because you know what? Someone's told me before about, I used to do that when I got a tiny bit of stick in my career, probably only once, where I didn't celebrate. I should have gone like a madman and I just walked back because I was soaking. Like, you shouldn't. Still, because you're soaking or sulking. Soaking. No, because I was... No, because I'm not soaking, because I'm soaking, because these lot were having a go at me 2 weeks ago, but now they want to cheer me and stuff like that. But that's part and parcel of football.
Was that Birmingham?
No, it was Crystal Palace.
That's fine.
Don't worry
That's
about
fine.
that. You're all right.
What about me, mate?
But that was it. But so I just want him to show a bit, like...
Smithy.
But I'm happy that he scored, because he needed that for his confidence.
Yes,
Adam Smith. That's Juan Mata's 50th assist in the Premier League.
Juan Mata with his 50th goal today in the Premier League and his 50th assist in the Premier League.
Needs to
Both
get
today.
Needs a cricket bat.
There
Give
you
it the
go,
old Slazenger.
yeah.
I mean, this can get a bit embarrassing for
available.
Fulham, this can.
This kid, couldn't
It
it?
could get embarrassing for Fulham, because every time Man United go forward...
It's all down
it
that
look
left,
like they're
right?
gonna-
You know where it's
It is.
going? Adoy. He's playing
It
right
is.
back. He couldn't
It
play
is.
centre back.
He is.
What's he
Very good
doing?
He is.
It's
Very,
all,
very good
I have
point.
to say, watching this, Mitrovic had a half chance, but it has all been Man United 3-0 up.
Yes.
Lacazette, he is onside, it looks like. He had his goal
Let's go back
disallowed,
to
it looks like
Arsenal.
he's onside.
Interesting last 5-10 minutes in the Arsenal game, Ash. Unlucky to be given offside there?
I think it was, yeah. It was actually a massive mistake by, I think, Zanka at the back. He just tried to play a simple back pass, but the linesman's given offside in the initial build-up to the play. He took it well, but given offside. Daniel Williams got a yellow card for a pretty bad tackle on Torreira.
Coolest man in the Premier League, Danny Williams. Coolest.
American, isn't he?
Big friends with Odell Beckham Jr. That's when you know you're cool.
That is
You know you're cool when you're friends.
A bit like myself.
Nah, but I'm friends with Smithy. I know I'm cool.
Oh, wow.
And you, I'm cool. Being on here, I'm cool. Being on here makes me cool.
I don't know if he's joking or not.
No, listen, deadly serious.
It's the
What you
biggest
see is
wind-up.
what you get.
We're talking about Arsenal now. They have been the better team from what we're looking at.
having
This
fun,
game.
isn't he?
But they won't be worried, actually, they're not winning because they've got the best record of second-half goals. They never score in the seem to score
They
in the
never
first
score
half of the
in the
season.
first half.
Certainly
Sorry
the
if,
majority
you
of their
want to
goals
bet
in the
on.
second half. More second-half goals than any team in the Premier League. Arsenal not been leading at half-time in any Premier League game this season, which is absolutely crazy. Scored each of the last 4 Premier League games and have the best comeback record in the Premier League, as well as the best amount of goals in the second half. So they won't be worried because they've been at this stage before.
They won't be worried, but they have very nearly gone behind here. Moy put the ball in, Depoitre hold up, it's kind of bouncing around everywhere. Xhaka plays a careless pass to Aaron Moy. The ball comes in from the right and Pritchard's got a really, really good chance. On the penalty spot, he's shanked it over. That's the difference, Mata and Pritchard.
Yeah.
Pritchard's leant back and it's gone over the bar. Mata
Big
is
chance
2-0
for
to United.
Pritchard.
And what you've got to realise, you won't get a lot of chances at the Emirates.
No.
So it's a
No,
great
to
chance.
take-
You
gotta
have to
take
take
that.
them.
And, of course, Alex Pritchard, former Spurs player, would have loved to have
There
scored
you
at
go.
the Emirates. A few updates in the Championship. Swansea are 3-0 up at Brentford already. We're only not even at the halfway stage there. QPR are 1-0 up at Leeds. That is a big goal for QPR. Middlesbrough down to 10 men at home against Blackburn. 1-0 down. Millwall 1, Hull 1, Norwich 1, Bolton 0, Wigan 0, Derby 1. No goals at Birmingham.
We already started with that!
No goals, yeah. Alphabetically, it's the first name in front of me. There's nothing to report. Birmingham 0, Bristol City 0.
Brilliant.
I expect the sofa to go crazy if Birmingham City score.
We are. We're going crazy. I'll
We'll keep an eye on that game.
Yes.
Ash, a few comments come...
Actually, you're
What
feeling
an
okay? Was that a
effort.
goal? What's going on?
Torreira, what a strike from like 25 yards out. He's caught it perfectly and Losell's made a really good save. So unlucky, Torreira. That would have been 2 and 2 for
Here's
him.
the replay.
Guendouzi, nice little ball back to him. Oh!
Oh, it's a great
what
save.
Love that, the old
Save.
over.
That is the top save.
Look at that.
Save of the day. Oh, what a save that
what a
is.
stop.
Best save we've seen so
Yeah,
far
that's
today.
a great save. That's top draw.
And he's a
strike,
man
by
in
the
form,
way.
Torreira, as well. Another
Torreira,
man in the
good
North
player.
London derby had a fantastic game. And just what
Exceptional.
Arsenal have needed for so many years.
Yeah, that holding midfielder, without a shadow of a doubt. He's brilliant, and he's still young.
Yeah.
Smithy, only 22.
Yeah,
so
very
he's
good
only
point.
going to get better.
Very good. So we
do you
are
reckon? See that?
approaching the halfway stage.
is it booking for
46
diving?
minutes.
Oh, is he?
First half-time whistle has gone in one of your games, Ash.
Yep, it
Cardiff
has.
City, what's been
Cardiff,
going on in that game?
Southampton. I tell you what, Cardiff have come closer on 2 occasions. Mendes Lang just had a really good strike that McCarthy tipped over very, very well. But Cardiff will go in happier and more confident.
I think Mustafi's just been
what's
booked for
going on?
diving.
There's something that's going on in the Arsenal game now. Arsenal appealing for a penalty. Mustafi
There's
has gone
contact.
down.
There's contact, but he's gone down.
He's been booked for it.
A bit easily.
But the referee has given a yellow card for Mustafi for diving.
Yeah.
And Mustafi is not happy. He's absolutely
I had that on my
fuming with
acca as well,
the ref
Mustafi to be booked for
Oh, Milivojevic! Oh, what a free kick!
Great pronunciation.
Oh, he's hit the crossbar.
Gosh, I don't
Palace have hit the bar.
want to hear crossbars. I want to hear goals. At Palace.
Sorry, I was watching that the whole
know,
time.
I'm
That was
only
a really
joking,
good
mate.
strike.
West Ham Palace, we haven't spoken about that one in a while. How's that been panning out, Ash?
So West Ham have had a couple of chances, but Palace have just come very close. Milivojevic, look at the replay. Off the bar. Fabianski's not moving anywhere near that.
That is
That's a really good strike.
That's good
Milivojevic's
technique,
so
that.
good on the set pieces.
Great technique.
Pulled out another stat.
The
Crystal Palace.
half-time whistle has just gone in our
Can't
feature game. Man
believe
United
this.
3-0 up against Fulham. It has been a perfect first half so far for Man United. We're just looking at scenes of Claudio Ranieri and Jose Mourinho walking down the tunnel now.
He needs a word as original.
These are the scenes. Ashley Young had a lot of joy down that left-hand side for Man United. Goal scorers, he got the first himself. Juan Mata got the second. Romelu Lukaku with the third. 50th Premier League assist and 50th Premier League goal in the same game for Juan Mata. There is Jose Mourinho. He looks calm, he looks composed, but it's interesting to see him. He turned around to his bench and high-fived all of his coaches when that third goal went in. So it's been a dream start for Man United. Not many times we can say this, actually, so far with Man United, but there's a lot to do for Fulham now, isn't there?
Oh, definitely. I think that could be game over. 3-0 up at half-time and you're at home.
Yeah.
Could be, it's ominous signs for Fulham because it could be 4, 5 or even 6, Smithy. Because every time Man United have gone forward, they look dangerous. In particular, Juan Mata, he's been a genius this afternoon so
And Ashley Young's had a good game as well, hasn't he?
Really good, but I know Youngie. Youngie's that type of player. You can play him anywhere and he always delivers. He gives you 100% all the time. And he's captain today and he's led by example. He's been excellent.
And the half-time whistle has just gone at the Emirates. These are the scenes. Arsenal 0, Huddersfield 0. That man there, Torreira, with the best chance of the game, forcing a fantastic save. And Arsenal not happy, actually. They're still protesting with the referee. There's Lichtsteiner, there's Xhaka. A couple of moments, one most notably towards the end of the first half, when they felt they should have had a penalty. But instead, the referee booked the Arsenal player, which was Mustafi, for diving, and Mustafi was incensed, thought it was a penalty. But looking back on the replays, it's probably the right decision. Very soft.
I saw a bit of it, and it looked like there was even Peter Cech is having a word.
What's he getting involved for?
Everyone's involved. There you can see, there's Petr Cech very kindly giving the ball back, but then protesting.
He don't usually say anything.
No,
so
he doesn't.
You know it must have been.
But it was the right decision.
It was the right
Yeah.
decision. I don't think there was enough contact to go down. He went down. He was waiting for the contact, but it looked like he's gone down too early for me. But
And you can hear the boos ringing around the Emirates. Arsenal fans not happy, but it was the right decision, we think. 0-0 still. Arsenal fans shouldn't be worried, though, because they do score a lot of goals in the second half. Half-time whistle has gone in all of our games. All of our games have hit the half-time stage. We can show you the scenes at West Ham. West Ham 0, Crystal Palace. Clinton Morrison's former club, Crystal Palace 1. James MacArthur. Talk us through this one, Ash. Crystal Palace been fairly dominant from what you said in this game.
They have indeed. They played really well. They very nearly went 2-0 up before the break. Milivojevic free kick. You ruined my stats, but I was going to say that that would have been their first goal from a set piece. That's not a penalty this season. The only team in the Premier League to not score from a set piece.
Yeah.
Stats. But Palace have actually looked the better team. Hernandez had a good chance for West Ham, but that's been about it for them.
Yeah, so... Right, we can catch our breath a bit. It's been an epic first half. A lot of goals.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. Good noise. Good noise again. Let's have a look at how our accumulator is getting on. Come on, the accumulator. Come on, the I said home win, Arsenal. Huddersfield still alive in that one. 0-0 currently. Ash went for a draw between Burnley and Brighton. That is currently Burnley 1, Brighton 0. James Tarkowski after 40 minutes to give Burnley the lead. Will went for a home win, Cardiff, Southampton. 0-0, so we're still in with that one.
Yeah.
Not unrealistic.
Still alive.
To happen. Clinton went from Man United to beat Fulham. Very much going to plan, Clinton. 3-0, well done, mate. And you had to pick a second game. We made you pick 2. And you went for a draw between West Ham and Palace. Currently your former team winning 1-0. I mean, you're happy either way there. If it's a draw, the accumulator comes in. If Palace win, it's your former club.
Yeah, definitely. So I am happy. They're clever.
50 very clever. He is very clever.
West Ham win.
Delighted to say we can catch a breath. As I've said, it is the half-time stage. We are joined now by Football Social, friend of the Football Social, good mate of ours from Full-Time Devils, Adam McCullough, who is at the game, is joining us. Adam, firstly, thank you very much for joining us. What's the first half that was for Man United? Loads of positives.
Yeah, it's been a lot better today. I mean, I don't know whether that's because of the level of the opposition we're playing in Fulham, or because United have just been a little bit more positive. I think the Diogo Dalot's been a big bright spark down the flank getting forward. And there's just more aggression in our play, more intensity and more pressure on it. And yeah, it's good to see, but it's concerning because we don't see this more than we have today. So that's the frustrating thing.
Adam, what's the atmosphere been like at Old Trafford? We've seen it, different types of atmosphere at Old Trafford this season. There's been well reported, all the things that are going on at the club with Jose Mourinho, with Pogba. It seems to be quite positive, everyone behind the team. What's it been like at the ground?
Yeah, I think inside the ground, everyone always starts off trying to be positive and starts off, trying to get behind the team, and then we react to what we see on the pitch. And I think so far it's been good. We're getting into challenges, we're creating opportunities, and we're getting forward. If we can add Paul Pogba into this with the way we're playing, I think things would look really, really good. But yeah, it's good to see, especially with the fact that no Anthony Martial, who's been our best player this season, no Luke Shaw, who's been another one of our best players this season. It is good to see, but it's Fulham in it, and ultimately it's just a little bit of a papering over the cracks job. But I've got to be happy. I've seen 3 goals in 45 minutes. As long as I don't see 3
yeah,
goals.
You've got to be happy. You mentioned him there, Adam. Pogba, we've got to talk about him. Not in the starting lineup, but United doing well without him. What was your reaction when you saw Pogba not starting for Man United today?
I wasn't surprised to see him not start against Arsenal because I thought his performance against Southampton was abysmal. But I do think Jose Mourinho has just made him a scapegoat for his poor results and his poor performances at Manchester United. He's done the same with Eden Hazard at Chelsea. We saw the Chelsea fans calling him a rat and all sorts, and then he went on and won the league for them later. I don't think Paul Pogba is a problem at Manchester United. I don't think he's a virus. If anything, I think Paul Pogba is someone that can help Manchester United return to those better days. But it would be nice to see him and the manager on the same page. But it's not, and it just seems like typical Jose Mourinho in it. Find a scapegoat, dig him out, and then try and get power from that. But I don't think that's football's past that.
Yeah, we've got Clinton Morrison in the studio who's watching the game. He's been very impressed with Juan Mata. Very impressed with Juan Mata and Ashley Young in particular. Juan Mata's another player. We've been speaking about him a lot in the first half. He seems to be, you used the word underrated, didn't you, Clinton?
Definitely.
And a player that Clinton thinks should be starting a lot more for Man United. Do you agree with that?
Hey, Juan Mata is a little gem, and we should get him into the team as much as possible. The frustrating thing for me is whenever we play him out on the right, and we play Lingard in the middle. If you switch them around, I think they'd both be a lot more comfortable. But having said that, Juan Mata is a little baller. If he was playing for a Man City or an Arsenal, I think he'd be getting a lot more appreciation. It's because the way we play football isn't always suited to the way he wants to play football. He hasn't got pace when he runs. It looks like he's running in sand, but he don't need pace. He don't need pace at all because he's got that extra yard in his head. And when Juan Mata plays and when Lingard plays, United usually play a lot better because the movement and the vision that they provide creates opportunities for others. It's good to see Lukaku get that goal. Hopefully he takes a bit of weight off his shoulders and he can start performing because his performance again today hasn't been great, but he has got a goal. Rashford's looking good though.
Yeah, that was our next question, Lukaku. Great for him to get a goal. Do you expect him to kick on now and start scoring regularly, start scoring for fun? Because he does seem to go through these patches for United, doesn't he, where he scores lots of goals and then he goes on a period without scoring. Do you expect him to kick on now?
I hope so. I'm a big fan of Lukaku. Look, last season he got his best ever goal tally ever, and that was his first season at United, and that was with us creating very little opportunities for him. This season he's been poor. His first touch has been awful. His second touch has been a tackle. He doesn't look confident. He doesn't look like he wants to challenge for things in the air. He doesn't look like he wants to get in positions because he knows if he gets the ball, he's going to mess up. And I feel sorry for him at the moment. But then I also think Manchester United, even at Everton, they created so many chances for him. You look at Harry Kane, how many chances he gets created for him at Spurs, and you look at United, and we don't create that many chances for him. Having said that, though, the things that he's just got to do so much better. The basics, like your first touch, challenging in the air. If you do those things, then surely a goals will come for you, and you're not going to be snatching at all your chances. But he seems to be doing those basic things bad. And normally you say to a striker, when you're not scoring, do the basics first, and the rest will follow. And he's just not been doing that. We look a lot better with Rashford and Martial in the team.
Adam, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you're at the game. It's very hard to get signal out of Trafford as well, so big thanks for joining us. And coming back on the Football Social sofa soon. Hope to see you back on the sofa soon, mate.
The title race is back on. Guys, I'll see you soon.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, very happy Adam McCullough from Full Time Devils there, as he should be, really.
Yeah,
all United. Quickly, United fan, first half, all positives.
Delighted. You couldn't be happier. Lukaku got a goal, Rashford, Mata playing well. Couldn't be happier. I just hope he doesn't now shut up shop and kind of concede some chances, let them get back into it. I hope it's just get one more goal in the second half. Nice 4-0 win, clean sheet. De Gea needs one of those. It'd be lovely.
OK, very positivity. And, of course, more positivity. It's nearly Christmas, Clinton.
Yeah, it is.
I love Clinton. Are you looking forward to Christmas?
Of course I love it. I'm looking forward
that's the best way ever, that.
Segue.
I am looking forward to
Thank you, Clinton. If you had said no, they'd have completely ruined that link.
Oh, yeah. I'm that guy.
Christmas trees, Christmas turkeys, Christmas #1. This is where I'm going with this. This is what we hope gets to Christmas #1 this year. This is brilliant.
Dick's Frimpong Klein, Lennon Reed, Rouli de Pay, Atsu Devry, Mielen Knight, Agaban and Gray, Aquila Verna Hendry, feeling yet a wise to hold, boy, you love for down and burn, Douglas ride, but by the chair, hey, Charlie gonna war, Asprey and Stein, Lingard, Schlupp, Wendell, Gavin, Dawn, tears our prize, I believe you, Akita Zerkov, Terry Weir, Ready Tony Zuma, boy, is it Dieter Stindl-Weir, Miranda Mitchell, Bell, Rickon, Ada Angie, Violet Boom, Daddy Knock, Pilati, Stale, Eddie Cool, Mango, Bicon, Gignac, Zikla, Garrick, and Night, the great of Tisdale, Ellis, Gilroy, Ride, oh, Maybrook in Emerald Rose, Cole Painter, Ronaldo, Dudek, Boris, Kitty, Stanford, G.A.D. Razor, Pastor, Alibi, Burkham, Bear, Casandiga, Gatuna, Moonyak, Rolling, Kister, Ham, and Ball. Freedom, Stevens,
Here are the teams coming back out for the second half. Fulham, loads to do, Will, in this second half. Is there any hope for the Fulham fans watching now? Any hope at all?
In a word, Smithy, no. We were just watching the first half goals, and all of them coming down that right-hand side.
Yeah.
Adoy, I'm not one for singling people out, but I'm going to do it. He's had a terrible first half. I think he's a centre-back playing right back. Changes need to be made, but I don't know, what do you do if you're a manager in this position? 3-0 down at Old Trafford, what can you do? Ranieri doesn't.
There is Ranieri. We can see Ranieri scratching his face, sort of, even to imply, like, where do I go from here?
What do I do?
Ash, Man United was just trying to give any hope to Fulham fans, but this is
there's
done,
always
isn't
hope.
it?
There's
Always hope,
for
is there?
Fans. Yeah, we haven't been playing very well at all recently. Yeah, definitely hope for them.
Jose Mourinho looks the same, doesn't he? He never doesn't give too much away, does he? Look.
2 subs for Fulham, though. They're doing the old Arsenal last week.
Oh, it looks like Mitrovic is coming off.
Mitrovic is coming off. Strange decision.
If you're Mitrovic, in the form that you're in, how would you react?
I'd be disappointed, but that looks like he's shutting up shop. He don't want to lose 5 or 6 0. Yeah, he must be. Because 3-0 down at half time. Why would you keep? Yeah, but why would you keep your top striker? Take your top striker off. He's going to get you the goals.
Yeah,
strange decision.
Very strange decision. You can
but
see the
Vieta
scenes.
and Kamara's coming on anyway.
Yeah, Kamara coming on. Just having words with Scott Parker there. Fulham assistant, double substitution at the half-time stage. Clinton thinks this is shutting up shop. Looks like there's going to be substitutions at the Arsenal game as well.
Mkhitaryan and Iwobi.
Yeah, we've seen this before from Emery. He's very brave. We spoke about this earlier in part of the show. He famously brought on the double substitution in the North London derby when they trailed Tottenham 2-1 at half-time, went on to win 4-2. Looks like that's Iwobi and Mkhitaryan coming on, is it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, Iwobi and Mkhitaryan. Double substitution straight away. No messing for Unai Emery, Clinton. What are your thoughts on this sub?
Well, you can't complain when he makes a double substitution. He's done it against Tottenham, and it worked. And he's probably not been happy with how... Because really and truly, if you think about it, no disrespect to Huddersfield, Arsenal at home should be beating Huddersfield, and they've probably not created enough chances, so he's unhappy and putting on 2 wide players who can come and create stuff. So you'd be surprised to see who's going off.
Yes, it will be. It's intriguing to see who's coming off as we're just getting the board there. But as we said earlier on in the show,
Lichtsteiner's off.
Lichtsteiner's coming off, it looks like, so that is one of the substitutions.
More attacking, that is.
So it's a more attacking sub, Lichtsteiner's one of the subs.
Probably means they'll go to a 4 at the back.
Iwobi's coming on.
Right back.
Yeah.
Mkhitaryan, who's had a... What do you make of Mkhitaryan since he's been at Arsenal? Because we were talking about that swap deal in last week's show, and it's someone on the sofa, I can't remember who it was, but said if there was a swap deal back, Sanchez and Mkhitaryan, no one would seem to know either way, because neither of them
they've
really
both been disappointing, really and truly. He's had fits and starts, hasn't he? I think he's a terrific player. It's just finding the best position for Mkhitaryan. Because Arsenal either play him throughout on the right or in a number 10 role. But it's so difficult nowadays, because if you think at Arsenal, there's a lot of players that want to play in that 10 role.
Yeah. So double substitution for Arsenal, who once again never been leading in the Premier League at half-time in any game this season, which is phenomenal, really. Scored 25 of 34 goals in the second half. Arsenal are the top scorers in the second half of any team in the Premier League this season. They also have the best comeback record in the Premier League as well. So they've scored in each of their last 14 games. It'd be amazing if Arsenal can't score in this match. And the game is kicked off, and they're on the attack straight away, Clinton. Mkhitaryan on the ball. Half chance for Arsenal.
Oh!
Straight instant impact.
Yeah, it was. So it nearly was a great decision to bring him on. But no, he did ever so well. He shifted the ball onto his left foot, and there's a great strike, just went past the post. But that's probably why he made them change it. He want Arsenal to be on the front foot, attacking and trying to get that first goal.
And as well as that, Arsenal subs have scored 8 Premier League goals this season, more than any other side, which not only does it show that they use subs a lot, but they do score goals as well.
And they come on and make impacts. And that's what you want from your substitutions, to come on and make an impact. Rashford, good save by Lukaku.
Mingin.
What's it?
He says Mingin. I think there you go.
Yeah, as a striker, I was going to say.
He's like he's not... the technique's not good. It's on his weaker right foot, but...
Should have done better,
I'm not going to make an excuse here.
If that's you, Clinton, that's in the back of the net.
I would hope so. But if not, you'll be telling me I'm rubbish in the stands. Well, I could have done better than that.
Will's like, how did he know I was at the game?
Yeah, exactly. I could hear him. But no, he's cut across
Should do better, that, shouldn't he, Lukaku?
Got to hit the target, Smithy. You're right. He's got to hit the target.
OK, as always, we want your questions in at Football Daily, at Soccer AM, in the comment section below. Will, what have you got for us?
Get them in at Football Daily, at Soccer AM, using the hashtag #TheFootballSocio. Smithy, can I start a new feature on this show?
Oh, what a goal! What a goal, West Ham! Robert Snodgrass!
It's not a good goal.
Sorry.
You know what a goal.
It's good for the Acca, it's a draw.
It is good for the Acca.
Acca's alive!
Ash, what happened?
Ball into the box, cleared away. Robert Snodgrass took a touch and whipped it in so nicely. A really, really good goal. Andy Carroll's actually just come on for West Ham as well, too.
Andy Carroll.
I think that shows what they're trying to do in the second half. Get the ball moving forward a bit quicker into Carroll, and it's paid off within, 2 minutes of the restart? A great goal from Robert Snodgrass. Fantastic stuff.
Good. Clinton, back to you. You were
Enjoyed that
saying...
goal.
What was I saying?
I don't know, it's your story.
What was that? Did I have a story?
Have a look at the goal. Have a look at the goal. Look at that.
Talking to
You
him.
go to Will, go on.
Throwing him under the bus.
Boys, that's goal of the day. Look at this. It's not grass.
Goal of the day, it's not grass.
Plastic
Oh,
snug?
on the inside.
Inside,
What a goal from
That
Robert
is a
Snodgrass.
great,
Really
that
nice
is a
finish.
great
So
goal.
the way he shapes himself, you think he's
You
going
think
in
you
the
can
far
just whips
corner.
it again
He
on the
whips
near
it
post,
into
yeah.
the near corner.
Great finish.
That is very
Lovely
funny.
finish.
Lovely
Robert
stuff.
Snodgrass. It is West Ham 1, Crystal Palace 1. That is goal of the day so far. What a
Get
finish
in.
that was, Will.
Yeah, we're starting a new feature, so I've just got the most niche question in I think I've ever
Ooh.
experienced on the Football Social. Clinton, how was it playing with Danny Butterfield? That's not from Danny Butterfield.
That's about to say that he's the type of person that would have asked him. But I know he's a coach now and they've got a game, so it can't be
Is
him.
it from Danny Butterfield?
It was actually good playing with him. Butts was a very good right back. He used to play good balls into the front man. Not just aimless balls down the side, which fullbacks like to play, which is their get out danger ball, where they just clip it and hope their striker's there.
Right.
He's a good fullback. And he even played up front in one game and scored a hat-trick. He tells
Really?
you about it every day you see him. Yeah, crazy.
Have you ever before been asked a question about Danny Butterfield?
Nope, that's a
There we go.
First time ever.
Who's that question from?
Breaking news, everyone. It's time for the Football Social quiz. The famous quiz. Are we happy? Are we looking forward to it?
Come on, then.
Now, Clinton, as you know, every week we get a little quiz stats question relating to an incident
know
that's
that,
already
Clinton.
happened in one of our games. So here goes this week. Juan Mata, as we know, has just scored his 50th Premier League goal. He becomes the 5th Spaniard to reach the milestone in the Premier League. Who are the other 4 Spanish players to have scored 50 Premier League goals? Shout them out.
Fabregas.
Cesc Fabregas is 1.
It won't be
David
it's not
Silva?
David Silva,
David
is
Silva
it?
is another.
Oh, David Silva
Two
is
more.
Torres.
Torres is the other.
Not Costa, is it?
And Diego Costa.
Hey, guys.
That's the quickest we've ever done it.
Next.
Very impressive. Quite easy.
Knowledge.
He's also, part 2 of the quiz, he's also made his 50th Premier League assist, as we've mentioned earlier on in the show, making him just the 3rd Spaniard to do so. Who are the other 2 Spanish players to record 50 Premier League
Got to
assists?
be Fabregas is one.
Correct.
Yeah, Fabregas and
He's
Silva.
a genius.
And David Silva.
Yeah,
correct.
There you go.
Very easy, both of them, aren't they?
easy.
Right.
Knowledge.
He's-
Knowledge.
I thought Smithy, he touched me there and said, well done. I thought he was going to touch my head there. I was going to say, don't do that. You know what happened? It might not be there, it might be to the face.
Everyone
no, not
seems
really.
to have watched Akin Fenwa on the show last week. When I
I
touched
watched
on
it.
the head.
I was absolutely crying, mate.
Yeah, I was crying as well,
but-
yeah.
No, literally.
Yeah, don't touch Akin
Don't
Fenwa
touch,
on the
don't
back of
touch
his head.
head.
It will hurt.
The most underrated thing about that was the actual thud in the studio. You couldn't hear it on the mic, but there was a real
Unbelievable.
It looked, when I was watching it, it did look, it looked painful.
It was painful.
I felt for you. I felt for you, mate.
But Bayo might be watching, to be fair. He's a big fan of the show. Hopefully he comes back on in a long time. Chance for Huddersfield was just in. Looked like Alex Pritchard with a chance there in that game. Interestingly, Man United only scored more than 2 goals in a game on 3 occasions since March in all competitions. And brilliant stat this. Before today, they are unbeaten, Man United, in all 273 Premier League games when winning at half-time at Old Trafford. They've never, ever, in Premier League history, lost a match in which they are winning at half-time. And that looks like it's going to continue.
If they lose this
257 wins, 16 draws. That's incredible.
It is incredible, and if they lose this game, Smithy, he will be sacked.
Do you think?
Yeah, because you can't be 3-0 up at half-time and then be losing to the team who are near the bottom, who have got no confidence and took off their
Rock
top
bottom,
goal scorer.
yeah.
So, come on. Then you know, going to Man United, Old Trafford, it used to be fearless. I don't think it's fearless anymore. But Man United have put on a good show this afternoon.
As a player, was that the one stadium, the toughest stadium of all to go to and get a result when you were playing?
Yeah, back in there with the players that they had, that was tough. For atmosphere, it wasn't a brilliant atmosphere, but for atmosphere, I'd say Anfield. But to go there when they had the likes of Keane, Scholes, Beckham, Giggs, all of those players, you're just thinking, basically, before the game, don't treat it as a day out, but it is a day out. Just go and enjoy the occasion, enjoy the dressing rooms, and go in there and just try and make yourself, if you can get a goal, then try and get a goal. But the talent they had was brilliant. I think when I went there with Birmingham, we lost quite a bit. We lost 2-0. I remember one game where Scholes played. He was tremendous. Paul Scholes was the
best player you ever played against?
He's up there with the best. The best players I've ever played against, I'd say, was the real Brazilian Ronaldo. He was phenomenal.
At the 2002 World Cup.
Yeah. And no, in a friendly against Brazil at Lansdowne Road, they had. Let me tell you, I like telling this because I'm blowing my own trumpet. But they had Ronaldinho there, Kaká, Carlos, Cafu, the real Ronaldo.
Wow.
Well, the R9. And then all of a sudden, I caused them problems. It was 0-0 and got man of the match.
Did you?
Yeah, that's my claim to fame.
That's
Thank you.
I like that.
But it's not about me anyway. It's about
The story of Clinton getting man of the match is not about
it's not about me.
against Gaffer Ronaldo. Half chance for Fulham. Ooh,
Looked all right, you know.
Schürrle down the left.
Yeah.
That's been good. Performed well.
I think second half they've been all right for them. They've been on the front foot. Them substitutions have made a difference.
Could be a 4-3.
Ash, let's go to you. Let's catch up with the Arsenal game. Double substitution at half-time. How have Arsenal fared against Huddersfield? Still 0-0 in that one.
Still 0-0. They've been on the front foot, Arsenal. They're looking to press more, but still 0-0. They haven't carved open Huddersfield at all. They've stood firm and they look good.
They're going to win, though, aren't they? Surely. I mean, look at this and how Huddersfield have been this season. They don't have a striker that scored a goal. They're struggling for goals, conceding goals.
Honestly, when
they've
the
got to
ball-
do something big to win this, Huddersfield.
So the Pratchett might not score a lot of goals, but he holds the ball up really well. He's such a good target man centre forward, and he's bringing Pritchard into play quite a lot, and that's where they're creating their chances. And Huddersfield haven't been that far away. They look like they've had the better of the chance with Pritchard as well.
Yeah. Lowest scorers, though, in English football with 10 goals all season, Huddersfield.
Yes. So yeah. Oh, you're right. Arsenal might. Arsenal will probably.
Got to ask you as well about the London derby going on, because that's evenly poised now. Clinton's got his eye on that, I can see it. West Ham 1, Palace 1. What's going on in that one?
Since the break, it's been all West Ham.
Yeah.
Sorry, Clint. Yeah.
I just seen the substitution and it's my mate who I speak to quite regular, Patrick Van Aanholt, looked like he's gone off.
He was struggling, yeah.
And what is it with his belly?
It looked like it was. It might be his shoulder or his arm, because he's holding his arm across
Because if he
himself.
looked like he was holding his stomach, he's coming off being sick. I'm going to say to him, I will ring him after this and have a right go at him, because you can't come off for
can't
being
leave
ill
the
on a
game
football
being
pitch,
sick.
can you, Smithy? Palace are in a relegation. He needs to.
You've mentioned this before to me a lot before. He's a good friend of yours.
Very
isn't he?
good
And
friend,
I'm right in saying he's one that he rings you for advice.
Yeah, he
you
rings
give
me
him
for
mentoring.
advice and stuff like that. Yeah, he's a good kid. When I was at Coventry, he came on loan from Chelsea, and was my next door neighbour. A bit of a pain, kept ringing every day and waiting to borrow milk and sugar. But I said the shop's just around the corner, mate. But no,
as a footballer,
he's improved over the years.
Has he?
He's improved massively. He's one of the, for me personally, one of the best fullbacks I think in the Premier League. Loves getting forward.
Yeah.
He needs to know his defending can be a bit. He needs to defend a bit more where he tucks in more, but. For going forward, how you want fullbacks to go forward, he's been brilliant for Crystal Palace, and he's progressed, and he keeps getting better and better each year. So fair play to him, and that's down to hard work.
Do you think nowadays, with the modern fullback, you look at it now, back in the day when teams tended to play a 4-4-2, we spoke earlier about you saying every team had a two up top.
Yeah.
Defenders, it was all about defending.
Yes, you're right.
You look at the Premier League now, and the best fullbacks are almost the ones that offer a lot going forward. You look at Bellerin going forwards, great, Trippier, Walker.
Robertson,
but it is the sort of defensive duty. Do you have to be good going forward as well as defensively to be a fullback now?
Yeah, definitely. I think you have to be better going forward.
Do you?
I just think that holding midfielders can cover you when you're getting. But all you're worried about now is the defending. I think it's gone out the window, a lot of it nowadays. Defending, especially for fullbacks. I think fullbacks now, you just want them to get forward. And 9 times out of 10, if you look at it, most of your fullbacks start your attacks. And if you look at it with Man City, which I look, Carl Walker, sometimes he don't always hug the touchline. And when Delph plays out, Pep wants them coming in. So he wants them coming in for some reason, but it's beautiful to watch. But yeah, fullback is the most key position, I think, on the football pitch nowadays. And it used to be when you play at fullback, you got pushed there because you weren't good enough to go and play in any other position.
It's the classic Sunday League.
It is a Sunday League,
isn't it? Where do you play?
Where do you play?
Stick him left back or right back.
Yeah, exactly. I never had that. Did you have that?
I play right back, so...
I play left back.
Oh, no.
He's a left back, yeah.
He's a left back.
We'll stay on this sofa over here.
Fullbacks union.
Fullbacks union. But now, as you said, a very important position.
Very important position.
Oh, yeah.
Fullbacks are brilliant. They are very
One of
good
the
at
best.
going. Chris Smalling looks like he must be struggling because he's going off.
Yeah, substitution. Chris Smalling, is that Marcus?
Raho's
coming on.
And he's going down the tunnel, and that's always a sign of you're struggling, you're
Is it?
injured.
Yeah.
So he must be carrying an injury.
Chance for Huddersfield. Penalty at the Emirates.
That's a penalty.
Clinton, you think that's a penalty?
I'm not being biased because it's Arsenal, but it looks like Pritchard's rolled him and he's caught him. It looks like he's caught his back leg.
We're going to need to have a look at this again. We're going to need to have a look at this. Smith is still on the deck. Pritchard's appealing for a penalty. The ref instantly waved no penalty.
He's the only one.
Straight away,
he's the only one really asked. Though you think more Huddersfield players would have been around the referee?
A big moment in the game. Talk us through it.
Goal! Oh, no! How has he missed that? Sorry, I've took my eyes off it. There was a great chance for Torreira there, but.
Big chance for Herrera to make it 4.
Massive chance. He was like 4 or 5 yards out. And it was Mata again involved in it. Lukaku slips it to Mata. plays an intelligent ball to Torreira, cuts it.
Lovely pass.
5 minutes,
Oh,
he's got to score.
he's got
Hit the
to
target,
score.
he just drags it wide of the post.
And thoughts on the penalty?
I do believe it's a penalty. I believe there's a little slight contact in there.
Oh,
so
lucky Arsenal to get away with
Lucky
that one.
Arsenal, very, very lucky.
Fortunate to get away with
And
that
that's probably
one.
evened itself out because Arsenal probably think in the first half they should have had a penalty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here's the incident now, Clinton. Let's get your thoughts on it.
Well, no. Watching it again, I think he thinks there's going to be contact. It's a hard angle to watch it from there. But I think he thinks there's going to be contact, and there's not a lot of contact. Bellerin actually does well, so no penalty for me. I'm sticking with it. I got my ref's head on.
Yeah, and the injury to
Ref's
Smith
done
is
well.
actually off the ball. That's not to do.
No,
Let's just
it
clarify
is.
that. That's not to do with the
That's
penalty
like he's pulled his
incident.
hamstring.
Two separate incidents. Looks like he's just pulled his hamstring
Yep.
completely. And they, for me, always seem to be bad ones. When there's no contact and a player is just running.
They're the worst.
And
ones.
it does that straight
That is
away.
the worst. They're the worst.
Have
I've
you done a
never
hamstring?
done my hamstring. I've never ever. I
Really?
was lucky
Have you not?
enough.
Touch wood.
Touch wood. I know I was rapid. I looked after myself. Don't think now because I've, because I'm older now and I eat a lot of food. But back then I was nice and trim and I looked after my body. Always done my work good. But no, touch wood. The only injuries, major ones I've had is dislocated shoulders.
That's painful,
That's a horrible one, isn't
the
it?
worst pain I've ever experienced from
That's
ever.
a horrible one.
So it's not nice. But yeah, I've never really pulled a muscle. I've been lucky. I was fortunate enough never to
warm-up
do that.
routine.
But it is the worst. It is the worst.
Great physios.
Right, we've got it's a classic football social tradition when Mark, the floor manager, brings in the cups of tea.
Loves
Thank
it.
you very much, Mark. Who's that for?
You.
Thank you, Mark. Oh, he's going in front of camera this time.
Oh, thank you, Mark. That's very kind of you.
Cheers, Mark.
Thank you
Always a
very
pleasure.
much.
Did you want us, Mark?
No, I'm all right. I've got a drink here, Mark. Cheers.
Will, we haven't gone to social corner for a while.
Yeah, great question coming in here. Pogba was dominating the start of our discussions today and it'll probably be ongoing for the rest of the season. But would Pogba get into the starting 11 of Barcelona or Real Madrid?
Ooh, good question. What do you think, Clinton?
I think he'll get in Real Madrid.
I
think he'll get him.
They need a Galacticos,
I think he'd get in both of them.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think his style of football
think?
would suit that.
Is
I
he-
think him, Modric, and Casemiro sitting. I think
Yeah.
that would cause all sorts. Frightening
that
free,
is.
isn't it?
Is he good enough to go to one of those teams and they almost have to play him because he is that good, like dropping someone else, basically? Do you think?
Yeah,
Or
I think he
would
is
have
good
to
enough.
earn his place in the team.
The Paul Pogba, I don't know. The Paul Pogba now, probably he'd have to earn his place in the team. Paul Pogba, that Man United bought at the start, that was playing
walk
at
in.
Juventus, he'd have walked in.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
now, obviously, you do go through low on confidence, and he's probably low on confidence at the moment.
Yeah, he
I don't
is.
care if you're a superstar. If a manager's not picking you and not believing in you and always digging you out in the
course.
press, instantly you're going to be low on
course.
confidence.
But the weirdest thing ever on the football social, Steve Mounier not playing for Huddersfield,
Oh, yeah.
in the away section, singing his own song.
Yeah.
Love that.
Handing out Huddersfield shirts.
With his
name on the
Huddersfield woolly
back.
hat on.
Yeah, with
Brilliant.
his Terrier's
Terriers.
hat
A few
on.
players. I remember Stefan Freund famously at Old Trafford was in the away end.
I like that.
Chris Smalling we've seen in the away end as well before. It's,
Yeah.
it's good, isn't it?
I
Nice.
like players to interact with fans.
Do you?
Yeah,
Fans
I
pay
do.
their hard-earned money. I think it's magnificent.
Me and you
To go
did it
sit
at
in
Anfield
there.
away, remember that?
Yes, we did, mate.
That was great.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was that after I scored the second one and
Yeah,
ran into the
yeah,
crowd
yeah.
with you.
Clinton.
That's right.
Whenever we do anything with Clinton and he messages me, he researches all of his goals.
Oh, yeah, you know me, Smithy. I have to, mate.
Well, great questions coming in. Let's keep them going. Loads of people commenting.
Yeah.
We'll come to you in a minute. Ash, talk you
Javier
through
Hernandez.
the dejected Clinton Morris and his former club are
Oh, I'm
behind.
so sorry, Clint. It was a free kick, edge of the box. Felipe Anderson, right-footed, over the wall. Hennessy made a save, and Hernandez is the only one to react. And he's there, and he's got time. Poacher. That would have been Clinton Morrison.
Listen, that's why I love Chicharito Hernandez. He is brilliant.
He's so good at that.
He's one of those strikers,
Comes
and he
alive.
doesn't play a lot. And West Ham have started playing him recently, and he's scoring goals.
Yeah.
But there, you've got that. That's a striker on the front foot reacting,
It
and
is.
defenders that don't react.
Absolutely
That's
is.
the difference.
And he's
yeah.
put it into the roof of the net with his left foot. 2-1 West Ham have turned it round.
Yeah, 2 goals. Javier Hernandez in 14 games. That was before scoring twice at St James's Park. Scored 48 Premier League goals, all from inside the box. It's another one from inside the box. He's a predator,
No, but
isn't he?
he is a
That
predator.
is-
But that is amazing. Where look at it. So he's had the shot.
No one else.
No Palace is following up. Do they
literally
think
talking
Hennessy's
about
going to catch the ball? He's obviously. I don't know. He's made a. As a goalkeeper, you want to push it a bit further.
Yeah, he's
but
made the run as he struck the
as
ball.
he struck
Yeah.
it, and it's great finish into the roof of the
And
net.
all of his Premier League goals come from inside the box, so that's not lucky, that's instinct,
No,
isn't
that
it?
is a poacher.
Yeah.
That is a poacher. That is a natural-born finisher, and that's what Hernandez is.
So Palace in front in that game, now find themselves behind. This is
We need it.
turning
We need
into a
another
bad
goal
day.
for the draw, don't we?
Oh, we do.
What I called.
We do indeed, Clinton.
We do. I promise you it is for the Aki. That's why I won it. It's not for Palace, I promise you. I can't
And their only wins, Crystal Palace, all 3 of their Premier League wins have come against side currently in the bottom 4. Yet to score from a set piece before today.
It's been a struggle for Palace. And it's the biggest
are
struggle
they
for
in
them.
danger of going down? Do you put them in that bracket?
I don't think they will go down, but they are in a relegation at the moment. I will put them in the bracket because they are struggling to score goals at the moment. And that is the biggest thing. I think Palace need Benteke back really quick. He gives them a different option up front as well.
And takes Zaha out of that Palace team.
If he takes Zaha out of the Palace team, I think Palace would be bottom of the league with a drift at the moment. Yes, I do think. Because he is that much of a good player for them. And when he's not playing, they usually lose games anyway. But when he is in there, they usually get the results. But obviously, the last couple of games he has played and they've not done it. But it's hard. You can't always put the emphasis on one player. And I think Palace rely on Wilfried Zaha too much.
You cover a lot of the games for Sky, a lot of Palace games. You know a lot of the players as well, you said as well. I regularly hear you talk up Wilfried Zaha. How good is he, in your opinion? Like, how far can he go?
He can go far. I think he's a top... I think if someone like Pep was his manager... And for what Pep's done for Raheem Sterling, I believe now Raheem Sterling's one of the best players and could be at the moment in the Premier League. Raheem Sterling took his game to a different level. I think Wolf's got great natural ability, but he's got a few rough edges that he needs working on. And I think if he worked with Pep, and I'm not trying to... Palace fans, don't shout at me. I want Wolf to stay with our club for now. But there will come a time where he wants to go and challenge himself at a top four team. I think Pep could get the best out of him.
Oh, penalty!
It's a penalty!
Such
I keep talking to you because every time I talk to you, there's goals.
Right, we're going to steal with Clinton
Man
for this.
United.
Come on,
Talk us through this.
So
It was a
Herrera brought down Kamara.
Is it a penalty?
Yeah.
Is it a penalty?
100%. What a goal, Felipe Anderson! Oh my word!
Going off, right, we're going to
Oh my word!
That's whilst we're waiting for the penalty. Talk us through the West Ham goal.
What a goal, Felipe Anderson. That's his 6th goal in the league, I think, this season. That's a great strike. Edge of the box, just bends it beautifully around Hennessy. 3-1 West Ham.
Hold on, West Ham. West Ham behind in that game. Sorry, now they find themselves 3-1 up
completely
against
turned it around.
Is it a penalty for you?
Herrera gets the ball.
It's not a penalty.
I think he catches his lovely first leg, and he has given it, but he actually does get contact on the ball. He catches the first bit of his left leg, and that makes him go down. So it is a penalty, but there at different angles and replays, it does look like he gets the ball, but it is a penalty. And Kamara, he is stepping up to take it.
Stepping up.
He's missed it.
Will says he's missing it.
Will he score, yes or no?
I don't like that run up. Yeah, it's a great penalty. He sends the hair.
after he scored.
I don't like the run. Yeah, I had to say it. It's a great run. It's a good penalty. He sends the hair the wrong way. And now that gives Fulham a sniff now. It gives them a bit of confidence.
Why do we let Fulham back in?
It's a silly tackle. It doesn't have to make it there, Herrera, but it's a confident penalty from Kamara.
It just gives him the eyes to Gea, doesn't it? It's not a Harry Kane blast into the bottom corner.
No.
It's more of a wait for the keeper to dive and just slot it into the bottom corner.
It's a confident penalty.
We're just having a look at it again.
He threw Phil Jones off like he wasn't there before it.
He did. He actually did.
Very
didn't
sharp.
He said, Jones, get off me and go in the gym tomorrow morning. That's what he did.
So 66 minutes on the clock. Man United 3, Fulham 1. Are we watching a famous Fulham comeback at Old Trafford? And it's getting a bit feisty, Clinton.
It is getting feisty.
He's off.
Red card, Clinton. What happened?
It was a bad tackle from Anguissa on Rashford, and he's been given a straight red, and there's a lot of arguments. He doesn't need to get involved, Rashford. He's got sent off he's getting pulled away by Lukaku and that. I didn't actually see the tackle, so I'm waiting for the replay, but it's a silly from Anguissa. Just when you get back into the game, you make a reckless tackle.
And look at Ranieri, he knows.
And he's looking at him thinking,
language.
You've let down the whole team there. You've let down your side. Getting back, and he don't want to leave the pitch. He's going back over to the referee. Yeah, it's crazy. Look. Just a goal, mate. You're going to make it worse for yourself.
We must be talking minutes after Fulham have just...
That's not even... I think it's seconds.
2 minutes. And Anguissa's still not leaving the pitch.
He's not. He don't want Ashley Young's trying to escort him away.
Fair play for Ashley Young. It's worth pointing out as well. Definitely. He's calming the situation down and getting him to leave. Right, here's the replay. Clinton, red card, yes or no?
That's not a second yellow. I think it was a second yellow.
Oh, it's a second yellow. No way. That is harsh. That is not... But it looked like he put out the straight...
That was
the straight red there.
No, it was a second yellow.
No, that's not... He's got the ball, and it's because Rashford's leaped up.
Because
Rashford's leaped up into the air. That is very harsh.
Rashford's straight back up.
He's straight back up.
I don't think... diffuse it. It was unnecessary.
Rashford's reaction
yellow.
To confirm, it is a second yellow.
It is a second because he didn't show the yellow.
Branded the yellow, then the red. So it's a second yellow. He has gone in with his studs up.
It is
slightly high.
I think Rashford makes it look a bit more worse because he does get the ball, but it's because Rashford jumps up. So he's protecting himself. Because fair enough, if he's planted, he could have caught him. But yeah, the studs are showing. So I still don't know. It's still harsh. I think if it was against my team, I'd be going mad on the
Do you
side.
know what? I think I'm with you there. It does look harsh. We'll come to you in a minute, Ash. I think it's the reaction of Rashford because he jumped, probably because he doesn't want to get injured,
Yeah,
which is fair enough.
He's protecting
But
himself.
the reaction,
so.
I think, influenced the referee. It's a
has
very harsh red
influenced it,
card.
it
It
is.
is 2 minutes after Fulham have found themselves with a lifeline, slight lifeline, 3-1 down. They're down to 10 men. Ash, let's catch up with you. You're not looking at the main game. Let's concentrate on those four.
I am, mate. It's fine.
Ash,
You've
you've won
invested in
now.
the Man
You've
United game.
Man United have won now, Ash. Don't worry.
What's the other three, mate?
Clinton, I'm sorry, but West Ham nearly got a fourth.
know, that's
Masuaku
wow.
down the left, cross into the box. Hernandez just flicked it wide. Southampton are fuming because they should have had a penalty. I think it was Camarasa brought down Stuart Armstrong. And it looked like a pen, it looked like a Stonewall pen, but it wasn't given, so still 0-0 in that one. And the Ponchos are out at Burnley.
They are, aren't they?
Fantastic. Chucking it down.
So nothing, not Burnley, Brighton, anything really going on in that one?
No, still 1-0 Burnley. It looked fairly comfortable, no big chances of Brighton in the second half. I think Mustafi's come off injured for Arsenal and Monreal's come on. Surprised it wasn't Koscielny, actually, he's on the bench, but still 0-0 in that one. Huddersfield are holding on. Aubameyang had a fairly decent chance from a corner, just evaded everyone in the back post. He just had to nod it back across goal, but he tried to go near post and it just went wide.
Chance for Crystal Palace here.
Oh, no. Zabaleta does well.
Got his eye on Crystal Palace, as I'd expect, former player. Any signs of positivity you can tell Clinton with Crystal Palace in that one?
He doesn't need to answer that. It looks like, after watching a bit of it, it looks like it's all West Ham. And you expected that response from West Ham in the second half after being a goal down, but they're good to play against. And Palace have to do better. It's as simple as that. They've got a few games coming up recently that they're winnable, and they'll have to do it because, as you said earlier, Smithy, they're in a relegation dogfight at the minute.
Yeah, and West Ham, a positive for West Ham. Should they win today, it'll be the first time that West Ham have won 3 successive Premier League games since December 2016.
Wow.
First one, 3 successive matches. They've now scored 3 goals in each of the last 3 Premier League games, so the goals are going in. Chance for Arsenal. Ash, what's going on? Big chance for Arsenal.
Oh, it's away. What
happened there?
I don't know what happened.
Kolasinac just got inside the fullback and tried to get the ball across, but it was actually a really good bit of defending.
You just know that
Still
Arsenal are going
can't
to...
get a
This has
goal.
just got 1-0 to the Arsenal written all over it, this game, hasn't it?
Yeah, in the last 10 minutes,
And the last
as they
10
always
minutes,
do it.
this
Yeah.
They're cranking up the pressure, aren't they? What is it, 20
If you win
minutes
Sky
to go?
Bet and you want to get a bet on, Arsenal creating so many chances, and Huddersfield defending quite well, Ash, to be fair to them.
They are. Eric Durham's about to come on for Huddersfield, for Danny Williams. So that's a full-back, it looks like, for a centre midfield. I don't know if they're trying to shut up shop even more.
Will, Social Corner, just remind people how they can get in touch, and let's take some questions from our
Get
viewers.
in touch at SoccerAM, at Football Daily, using the hashtag #TheFootballSocial. Great question coming in from Polo FML.
Oh!
Go on, Ash.
He's made a mistake. Patterson, surely, for Cardiff. 1-0 Cardiff.
The deadlock's been broken, Ash!
Shocking
Big game,
defending.
big goal, big moment.
I'll
Talk
tell
us
you
through
what,
it.
that's got to be the worst celebration I've ever seen. He's
Yeah,
too
I'd
old to
agree
dance
with
like
you.
that.
I'd agree.
That is shocking. Terrible. Honestly, that's such bad defending from Southampton. It's just a nothing ball, and he's just got to play a simple pass back to the goalkeeper. He's made a mess of it. He's left it short, and Patterson's nipped in and finished it. And he's not quick, is he?
He's
Blimey.
an emergency striker, you know.
That's
Ash.
awful.
Ash, you know when...
Oh, no.
That is disgusting.
That's awful, isn't it?
Disgusting, Clinton.
Is it
But you know...
Vestergaard? Or is it Bednarek? I can't see.
Whoever it is.
It's Vestergaard.
The big centre half.
The big man from Mönchengladbach. That's so poor.
You don't need that when you're near the
Oh,
bottom.
but Callum Patterson...
He does well.
Good finish.
You know what?
Does well.
He's converted him into a striker.
He has, hasn't
Warnock,
he?
'cause
Yeah.
he said his striker's a striker. They bought him as a right back.
I know.
And played in midfield. He's done ever so well.
So-
it's a very confident finish.
Yeah, if you are a striker, so they've got Zahor, they've got Bobby Reed.
Yeah,
If you're
as well,
them,
yeah, you're starting
and
to-
Patterson's up front, you must be so angry.
I'm fuming. I'm knocking on the manager's door, but then I can't when he keeps delivering
keeps
like
scoring.
he's doing at
Yeah,
the minute.
exactly.
Which it's turned into a good choice for Neil Warner.
Very reminiscent of a young Danny Butterfield, in my opinion.
He's got to get a hat-trick and then he's
That's good for the
sorted.
Aka. That is good for the
Callum
Aka.
Patterson, 4th Premier League goal this season.
Wow.
Cardiff City's top goal scorer. So they can't have many complaints.
If
That'd be
Warnock
it.
keeps Cardiff up, that's got to be like the manager of the
Oh,
season.
Yeah.
definitely,
Such a good
definitely. Not on the best budget as well.
No.
He didn't get the players he wanted in there. Listen, it's not going to ever be attractive football under Warner, having played for him. But what it's going to be, he does what it says. And he does what it
Lowest
says.
average possession this season of any team, 35%.
No, not possession.
Not kept a clean sheet in any of the last 13 games. Won 9 points from losing positions, though. They have conceded a lot of goals as well. So will be amazing if Southampton can't find the back of the net at some stage. But credit to Cardiff, as we've said. Credit to Warner. Find themselves 1-0 up again. And with the other teams below them struggling,
Yeah.
could start opening up a little gap, couldn't they?
Yeah,
for Europe.
It could be.
What season that would be?
That would be unreal. He'd definitely be manager of the year. Manager of the century. It is, but it's a shit. They were struggling, Cardiff. I had them tipped to go down. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. But he's done a great job, Warnock. And he'll probably, if they're still in a decent position, hopefully the owners back him and he can go again in January and try and get that main striker that he wants. Got to get it. He has to get it.
I've said it on here. They were staying up 3 weeks ago.
Do you know what? He did say that. Will did say that.
Yeah.
He's always tipped
Clip that out.
And we'll clip that out. Yeah. Will, let's stick with you. Let's get some more questions.
Yeah, one I wanted to get in earlier was obviously it was the Ballon d'Or this week. Did we think Modric was the deserved winner? Obviously, lots of big names in there. Neymar.
It's a difficult one. I would say, thinking about it, I thought, yeah, he probably did deserve to. But I'm not agreeing with Messi coming fifth.
No,
I even sent out a tweet and said, I can't believe Messi, of all people, is the fifth best in the world. Have you seen his stats? I know stats, a lot of people don't like stats, but I'm not really big on stats, but his goals to games ratio is phenomenal.
It's unbelievable.
He's the best for me. That is natural. You will never see a footballer like that. Ronaldo is class, but he's had to work to be that good. That is just natural. I'd pay to go and watch him every day of the week. He's that good of a player.
I think you take him for granted, don't you?
You do.
Because you see the stats, he's like, oh, Messi scored again. But actually look at the stats.
Exactly.
How on earth is Messi the fifth best player in the world?
There you go.
It's madness. I think he's the best player in the world.
Yeah, me personally.
Yeah, and also Luka Modric becomes the first football player in history to win the World Cup Golden Ball, the FIFA Men's Player, the UEFA Men's Player, the Ballon d'Or, all in the same year.
Wow. That's credit to Modric. When he was at Tottenham, I thought it was fantastic. And you know, didn't they have a poll when he first went to Real Madrid about something worst signing? He's the worst player.
Yeah.
Look at him now.
Who did that poll?
Who did it? Yeah, whoever did that
Who
poll.
won that poll?
We've got some team news for the big game tonight. Is Chelsea against Man City. And interestingly, no team playing with an out-and-out striker. So Giroud and Morata both not starting for Chelsea. We think Eden Hazard is playing in a false number 9 role.
Yeah.
And no number 9 for Man City either. We think Sane, Sterling and Mahrez are playing as a front three.
I watched Man City last week. That means Sterling will play through the middle.
You think?
Yeah, and Mahrez.
But no out-and-out striker for either. Why do you think that is?
That's strict. Well, I know why Chelsea, because Morata and he's basically saying he's not got faith in Morata and at the moment, and Giroud, he's not playing them. And he'll probably play Hazard off there. But it's difficult because as a centre-half, do you go and pick that false number 10 up, or do you rather play against an out-and-out number 9? So to play that false like number 9, it's difficult, but it is very interesting, and you can see it. Aguero's injured, isn't he?
Yeah, he's injured.
And Jesus hasn't really hit the ground in the last 2 or 3 games. So it's a big opportunity but Sterling's been unplayable.
Sterling, yeah, most goal contribution of any player. In goals and assists, no one has more.
I love Raheem
goal
Sterling. He
contribution
gets
than
silly Smithy, but he's tremendous. I like Sterling. From where his bit was a couple of years ago to where he is now, he's a phenomenon at the moment. And fair play to him, because he's worked hard on his game. It never used to be natural to him, but you can see he's been on the training ground, working. Now he's brilliant. He's one of the best players around at the moment.
And he's another player that gets a bit of harsh criticism at times, doesn't he?
Too harsh. Listen,
sometimes for England, if we're being honest, his goals to game ratio is nowhere near as good for England or Man City, if we're being honest.
I totally agree with you.
But his performances are still good, and I feel that he does get badly criticised ahead of other people sometimes.
I'd agree with you. And for England, he was playing like up front or off the striker. And you see at Man City, he usually comes and plays off the wide and causes problems there. So, yeah, he does get criticised, but he's worked at his game. And now he is starting to deliver for England. Obviously, he'd be disappointed that he should be scoring more goals for England. He probably knows that in himself. Yeah. But at Man City, he's probably got more world-class players around him as well, helping him.
So that's who City are going with. No number 9 for Chelsea either. Do you think that's because you mentioned there Morata and Giroud aren't...
Well, he's struggling. He's struggling.
Is that because Sarri doesn't have a number 9 he trusts?
Yeah, he doesn't have it. I like Olivier Giroud. I think Giroud's a very good player. I'd have started with him. He can hold the ball up. It looks like when he plays, he has a great understanding with Hazard. Hazard can feed the ball into him and stick, play little balls around the corner. But obviously, he's seen something in the last 2 or 3 weeks, the results against, obviously, Tottenham and Wolves, where Tottenham absolutely played them off the park. So he's probably thinking to himself, I need to change it here and shake it up.
Chance for United.
Goal at Palace.
Goal at
West
Palace.
Ham, sorry.
West Ham Palace. What is it?
They're back in it.
Oh,
it's
come
3-2.
on.
They are back in the game. Short free kick.
Draw could be coming.
Will Zaha gave it to Max Meyer. Ball into the box. Jeff Schlupp header. 3-2.
Oh, game
it's
on.
Back on. I saw him in Westfield the other day.
Did you? Did he say hello?
No.
What shopping bags did he have?
What shopping bags did he have? Do you know what? I don't think he had bags on him. Keeping it real.
Thank you for that, Ash.
No worries.
So, big goal. West Ham 3, Crystal Palace 2,
Game
78
on.
minutes gone. Game
Good
on. We've
second
got a
half. Good
draw in
second
that
half, that.
accumulator. So that is big for... got to go to the Arsenal game. What's going on in the Arsenal match? Still 0-0, Ash. John Huddersfield.
Oh, bouncing around in the box.
There's always lots of Arsenal fans watching, loads of Arsenal fans on social media. How have Arsenal been playing? Because this is a game, 78 minutes gone. They'd expect to win this one, wouldn't
Honestly, they've had all the pressure, but they just haven't had any clear-cut chances this second half. The chances came in the first half. Aubameyang, Lacazette should have scored, and they may be made to rue their missed chances now.
Are Huddersfield looking like they've got anything going forward at all, or is it all just...
I think on the break they're trying to feed off Depoitre again, and any set pieces they look fairly dangerous actually, but nothing else other than that. Arsenal look like the team most likely to score, but they just
Rashford!
Rashford! Oh!
Clinton.
No, he's done everything right. Rashford was played in on goal. He could have took it with his left foot. He's chopped back in onto his right foot. And he has to score. It's like he tried to bend it, but Rico reads it. But he's got to put more power on it. But look, it's a great chop. See, he's not pulling it in the corner. It's too central. It's easy, comfortable save for Rico. But
he's done this
he's
bit
done
very well.
That's
He's done the
brilliant.
hard bit well.
He has done the hard way, but he's not... He's
It's
not
caught under him a little bit.
It's caught
doesn't it?
under him and he
Caught
ain't
under him,
bent it. He ain't started it out to come back in. But great bit of football there. But I'm surprised. There's 10 minutes or 12 minutes to go. And
Yeah,
there's
into
still
the
no
last
Pogba.
10 minutes of
Still
all
no
the games.
Pogba.
Very good point. Last 10 minutes of all of our games, all kicked off at 3 o'clock, of course. 5 Premier League games in action at the minute. 10 minutes to go in all of them. Pogba still not on the pitch for Man United. They're 3-1 up. They're cruising. It's against 10 men, and Jose Mourinho still hasn't brought him on, which is interesting. Arsenal with a half chance in that game, but the danger is cleared by Huddersfield, who is still clinging on in that second game. Will, let's go to you in Social Corner. What's going on?
I'll tell you who we need here right now, Smithy, for this last time. Just Dave Jackson sat there.
Yeah.
We'd love a bit of reaction.
We would.
He'd be going mad, wouldn't he?
He'd be pulling his hair out. Do you think Spurs can break into the top 2 this season, Smithy? No.
They can. They'd certainly... I certainly don't think
That's a dive.
There's a lot in it.
Guendouzi, that is shocking.
Sorry, there's a big moment in the Arsenal game here. So they're appealing for another penalty. Ash, talk us to what happened.
Such a bad dive. What's the point? He's almost round him. Just carry on going. He gets round his man and he just falls, just gone straight down on his face. There's absolutely no need.
And it's worth pointing out as well, Arsenal have already had a player booked for diving in the box already this match.
They are getting desperate.
2 players, but that's a terrible dive.
He's gone past Moy, look.
Yeah, it is. No, that's disgusting. He tried to leave his foot in on Moy. Moy, that's poor. We're trying to cut that out of our game. It's disgusting, that is.
Clinton, did you ever dive for a penalty?
No, I actually never did, you know, because I wasn't the penalty taker.
What a reason!
So I just stayed on my feet because I wanted to get the goal.
And on a serious note, 2 incidences.
Yeah.
Mustafi for the penalty, dive, yellow card.
Guendouzi
dive. I think the ref, credit to the ref, he's got both of them right.
He's reffed this game really well.
Really
There's
well.
been a lot of diving in this game. It looks like it's been a bit of a feisty game, and he looks like he's had a lot to do with, but he's reffed it really well.
And disappointing for Arsenal, that one.
Goal!
Oh, yes!
Rashford!
Oh!
Rashford picked the ball up on the angle
Get
about
in,
20
Rashford.
yards out. I think Rico could do better because he beat him on his near post, Smithy. But fair play to Rashford.
Come
he
on.
deserves that. He's had an excellent
bloody
game,
one.
but it's a terrific strike. I'm going to see if the ball's moved there because
Let's
that's
have a
the
look.
only
We've got a
thing I
replay
could do.
for you.
He's got that
Clinton's gonna
technique.
talk us
He's
through
so
it.
good at that technique.
Here we go.
Here's the replay.
Ashley Young, he plays it, the ball out, and Rashford just picks it up from the left, and it's on the angle. It's a terrific shot.
Oh,
That's Rico. He can't be beating on your near post from that far out.
No.
From that far out.
But
so
that
Rico,
technique, he catches the ball so nicely,
He cuts
doesn't it?
across it.
Technique's great.
But he has to get... He's got a hand on it.
Watch
and I
it
think
from
as a
minus if it
goalkeeper,
moves.
if you get a hand on it, you have to have a stronger wrist. We call that chocolate wrist in football.
Do you?
Yeah, like that.
And also say one of the first rules of goalkeeping, protect your near post.
There you go,
He didn't protect his
Smithy.
near post, it's
And
in the
that's
back
why,
of the net.
yep.
4-1 Man United. Will Brazier is having a fantastic time on the show. We love him. What you got for us, Will?
People wanting to get Clinton's predictions for the big game later. Which way do you think it's going to go, Man City or Chelsea?
That's a big one because I think Chelsea, they're not bad at home and they'll be looking for a response after a few bad games. But I'm going to go for a draw.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a draw. I think it will be a draw. I think Man
Score
City...
draw?
there'll be goals in it, but I think Man City will drop points and it will open it up for the others.
And the other game tonight, of course, Leicester versus Spurs. Another big game.
Yeah, it's a massive game. Leicester at home. It is a really good... It's a tough game for Tottenham.
I'm a bit worried about this.
Yeah, it is because I know you should be worried because Leicester are not bad at home.
Yeah.
But I do believe I'm going to go for a Tottenham win, though.
Are you?
I believe Tottenham will win it.
It's interesting to see what Poch does tonight because we've got Barcelona on Tuesday night. Interestingly, Spurs the only team, in the top 4 professional leagues of English football yet to have drawn a match all season.
Yeah.
And I've got a funny feeling they're going to draw today.
Yeah. It's a hard one. I think they'll win, but it is interesting because it's a massive game against Barcelona, which Tottenham want to do well in. But he needs to concentrate on the league. I think you take one game at a time.
Totally agree.
Talking about resting.
Totally agree.
When I saw it in the North London derby and he rests Toby Alderweireld, no disrespect to the young boy, it will be a good centre half in years to come. You've got to play your best players in the big games.
And I think he will play Toby. He'll definitely play Toby.
He's just
He'll definitely play Toby and Jan in Europe because 1/4 isn't selected for
he's
the
not
Champions
eligible.
League squad, which means he'll probably play one tonight.
Tonight, yeah.
So interesting to see how it goes.
Big moment in the not moment, but
McTominay.
Yeah, McTominay coming on and Pogba not coming on.
That's what I mean.
Yes, good shout as
Great
well.
shout,
Get it into the United fans. Man United fans on the stream, everything's going right for you. Winning 4-1. Jose seems happy.
Aubameyang!
Still going. Aubameyang still going.
Oh, 1-0 Arsenal!
We knew it. We said in the last 10 minutes
what did
Arsenal
we
would
say?
score.
Look,
They always score in the last 10 minutes. What a goal. They have scored.
It's a scissor kick from
Fortunate
Lucas
goal for
Torreira.
Arsenal, but it's a good goal. Torreira finds the back of the net. Ash, talk us through it, my
The ball
friend.
came in, Aubameyang caught it, and Congola came across and blocked it really well. The ball's around the area. Aubameyang just has the presence of mind to just flick it back in, and Lucas Torreira's about 3 yards out. He does a lovely scissor kick, and it's in. That's 2-2 for Torreira.
He's not meant
1-0 Arsenal.
Actually, not meant to be in that position.
He's
not
not
holding
meant to be in that
midfielder.
position.
He's doing well. What a signing.
done very well.
What a signing. To be fair, where's
Did he bring that? Look at that.
Wait,
touch
hold
of
on. Look,
Aubameyang.
he's
Touch.
26.
Look at this. This is a clever little ball back in.
Where's the
And
defender?
Torreira
onside.
It
onside.
is onside. It's a fantastic
Look
finish.
at this touch here.
Aubameyang does well, though. The
He
little
brings that
stand-up.
down so nicely,
The little
doesn't he?
stand-up is brilliant here, look.
That's clever, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a
So many
clever
players
ball.
like thrash it back across the box.
Yeah, but Smithy's right. Where is the marking? You've got 7 minutes to go.
We
and
said it.
you're 0-0 at
We
the
all
Emirates.
said it. They will score in the
Gutted
last
for
10 minutes. They always
Huddersfield.
score. And now Huddersfield have got to do what they've struggled to do all season and score a goal.
Oh, dear. Arsenal fans will be happy.
10th goal that Arsenal have scored in the last 15 minutes in the Premier League this season. They always leave it late.
They do always leave it late.
But they won't, Arsenal fans won't care.
No, they won't care as long as they keep winning and getting results.
See this one out now.
Yeah.
Goals galore today. Will, let's go back to
Lovely
your
stuff.
social corner. What are Man United fans saying? Have you got many Man United fans? Scott McTominay's come on, Paul Pogba. Surely this is a game when you bring him on when they're 4-1 up.
It's strange, very strange.
It's very odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's just a lot of speculation, really. People are just wondering.
What have I seen?
What have I seen?
No, what I've seen is Phil Jones is appealing for offside, and the guy's, he is offside, but he's letting the ball go. Daydreaming as a centre-half, just deal with it. Sessignon has nipped in, he's in on goal. Look, he's in on goal, and he's at the toe poke that's just gone past. He should do better than that. He's in on one-on-one with De Gea. But this is what I say. This is why Jose wants new defenders. You cannot switch off like that in the Premier League, even if you're 4-1 up. You have to. You're a defender. It should hurt. As it will hurt me missing a chance, it should hurt you when you concede a chance like that.
He got away with that.
Yeah, he did get away with it.
I completely agree.
OK, let's just update you with all the scores. There's goal in every game so far. Liverpool winning the early game 4-0 at Bournemouth thanks to a Mo Salah hat-trick and a Steve Cook own goal. Arsenal have just taken the lead at the Emirates against Huddersfield in the 83rd minute. Another late goal for Arsenal. They've been scoring so many this season. Lucas Torreira, one of the most informed players this season, with the only goal of the game so far at the Emirates. Burnley 1, Brighton 0. Going to come to Ash in a minute about that one because we haven't heard much about that one since. James Tarkowski with the only goal so far after 40 minutes. Cardiff 1-0 up against Southampton at the Cardiff City Stadium. Callum Patterson, another goal. He's their top goal scorer this season after 74 minutes. Man United in our feature game, a 4-1 up. Goals from Ashley Young, Juan Mata, Romelu Lukaku and Marcus Rashford. Kamara with that goal for Fulham. Fulham down to 10 men as well. All to do for Fulham. One of the games of the day is at the London Stadium, the London Derby. West Ham 3, Crystal Palace 2. Snodgrass, Chigarita and Felipe Anderson with the goals for West Ham, and James MacArthur and Jeffrey Schlupp with the goals for Crystal Palace. Chelsea play Man City tonight, and Leicester play Tottenham this evening as well. Ash, West Ham, Crystal Palace. Let's get your thoughts on that.
West Ham, Palace. Palace are grinding into it. They look like they could be pressing for a late winner, and West Ham are hitting them on the break with Felipe Anderson. Brighton have come very close to equalising. Solly March on the edge of the box, just cut across the ball so nicely, and it's whistled past Joe Hart's post. And Cardiff are still 1-0 up. Oh, mistake from Bamba. Oh, no, fine. Cleared by Morrison's cleaned up.
Southampton fans that are watching and reacting to the new manager's first game in charge, what have you seen from Southampton today?
if I'm being honest, they don't look like too much different from the Mark
Really?
Hughes team. No, they haven't. They're playing against Cardiff, who are, 16th in the league, 17th in the league, and they haven't created too many openings, and he'll be really annoyed with that, and he'll be so annoyed with the goal they've let in. Vestergaard, that was a really bad error to let Patterson in for 1-0.
Yeah.
But Cardiff will be delighted. Harry Arter looks like he might be coming off.
Is that Joe Rawls coming on for Harry Arter, do we think?
It looks like it is.
Yeah, it is.
It looks like it is. I'll tell you what's nice from the Man United game.
Harry Arter looks like he's in a bit of a problem here, limping. He's just got a...
Yeah, he's
bit of a
taking his
knock.
time. It's the last few minutes. Milk it. Why not?
There we go. So into the 88th minute.
I'll tell you what's nice as a United fan, and see if the United fans are in the comments on this, to have a right-back, Diogo Dalot, who can cross the ball so well. It's honestly... I love Valencia. In his day, he was a great winger and then a good right-back, but his delivery wasn't the best, and Dalot looks like he's really, really good at that. Just a shot of Pogba looking...
Clinton, going to come to
pretty
you
angry
now.
on the bench.
Talk us through what we are seeing on our feature game.
That is just a picture of Paul Pogba, and he looks disinterested. And I'd probably be
followed by
Jose
Mourinho.
Mourinho. And that's going to be the talking point, because you're winning the game and you've not even brought him on. OK, you want to make a penalty!
No,
goal kick!
What? He's not giving it. It's a goal kick. He looked like he gave it.
Penalty. I was really excited
What an
about
absolute tease that was. He looked like he gave it, but he's given a goal kick.
God, the refs had some big decisions to make at the Emirates so far. Interesting to see what he's given
tried
here.
to argue with the
It was
Socrates on De Poitre. Do we think this is a penalty?
Doesn't need to make the contact, though.
It's one of those things. It's shove, isn't it?
It's not a penalty. Shoulder to shoulder. Because the size of him, he shouldn't be going down like that. He tried to get the penalty out. I don't like that. I'm not saying he dived, but it is shoulder to shoulder. But
Socrates doesn't
look at
like
the size
that
of him. He's massive. Be stronger.
It's one of them we've seen given before. We think it's probably the right decision not to give a penalty. Have to say as well, you mentioned earlier, this ref has had 3 big calls to make. We think he's got them all spot on.
He's got them all spot on, you're right.
Referee. We have seen those given in the past, but we do think it's quite a soft bit of contact. Huddersfield are complaining, Arsenal are complaining, but Leno has the ball. They've got away with it. It's no penalty, which I think is correct. 90th minute in the Man United game, 4-1 up. Ash, let's go back to you.
Good defending by Tarkowski, just got his head to it. Dangerous ball in the box from Brighton from a free kick, and it's just gone wide. Corner for Brighton. But they're turning the screw, I believe is the saying. And it's looking like they might get an equaliser.
And big win. This is a big win for Cardiff again if they win this.
Yeah.
Is this a win almost, Clinton, where they'll start believing that they can actually stay up? Because everyone you speak to at the start of the season says, who do you think is going to go down? And unfairly, everyone goes, Cardiff, who are the other two? As if they think they'll finish 20th, which is a bit disrespectful before we've seen them play in the Premier League. Yeah. But everyone seems to think they're going down. If they win today, they could create a bit of space between them and the bottom 3.
Yeah, and what Cardiff are doing well is, and a lot of people say this, you have to beat teams that are in and around you. And that is what they're doing. Southampton are in and around them. And they're winning games. And at home, you always expect it to be a good atmosphere there. The fans play a big part in them. And they get the long throw in, they get the towels wiped. And they get the ball wiped with the towels. And it causes, it's a good atmosphere. And you know what it's going to be when you play Neil Warnock's team. Yeah. You're going to have to fight. And if it looks like Southampton have given it a go, but it looks like at the moment they've come up short. And it is a massive job he's got there. He has to go around and turn. They're going to be low on confidence. They've not won a lot of football matches, so it's a massive job. I've always said Southampton have always been a team that have nearly stayed up. This year, it could be a massive struggle.
7 minutes.
Yeah. 7 minutes at Emirates. Before we go there, a chance for Brighton.
Another corner, Brighton.
Oh! 2 chances for Brighton. There was one earlier as well.
Corner whipped in. Glenn Murray got his head to it, just went over, and then the same with that one. It looked like a corner whipped in, bunch of bodies in the box, and just
full-time whistle has gone at Cardiff City.
Oh, he won it!
What a win that is for Neil Warnock's team.
You predicted that.
Top goal scorer this season with 4 Premier League goals. 1-0 win against Southampton after 74 minutes. Will Brazier has called that. He's called Cardiff. He's not even a Cardiff fan. He loves Cardiff. I don't know if he had a night out in Cardiff or he's got relatives who live in Cardiff, but he's called it. It is Cardiff 1, Southampton 0. Big win. It's a disappointing first match in charge for Hassan Hurtel. I think everyone assumed Southampton would get something from that game. That is the 8th manager that Southampton have had that have failed to win their first match in charge in the Premier League. So big job
on his hands. That, isn't it?
And Ashmate said earlier that he's been disappointed with Southampton. Hasn't seen a lot difference from the Mark Hughes days. Worth pointing out that he has only had a few days in charge, and the lights have gone out as well in Cardiff.
What's going on there?
It might be a party.
David Webb is playing at Cardiff. Look at that. What's going on?
But it does end with that.
It's too early to say Hassan Husserl's made a mistake in that game or anything like that. He's only been at the club for a matter of days.
No, he's got to go.
It's like Pellegrini had a bad start at West Ham, but now he seems to have turned it around. Maybe.
And the full-time whistle has gone at Old Trafford. It ends Manchester United 4.
Come on.
Fulham 1. Goals from Ashley Young, Juan Mata, Romelu Lukaku, and Marcus Rashford. Kamara did get a consolation for Fulham, but they also were down to 10 men. So, big win for Jose Mourinho, but with all the positives, we expect that the story dominating tomorrow's papers will be that Pogba didn't play, which is a shame for Man United.
I wish it wasn't.
Because so many positives. But a load of the cameras are picking up the fact that Pogba wasn't put on, and Clinton earlier pointed out that he didn't seem to look too happy on the bench there. So, interesting to see how that one unfolds.
It's a shame.
Claudio Ranieri looks dejected. Big work for Claudio Ranieri. Talking about Jose Mourinho, but Claudio Ranieri will be even more disappointed going forward because they are rock bottom. You say Jose Mourinho's got a lot to do at United, but Claudio Ranieri's got a hell of a lot to do at Fulham still.
Yeah, definitely. That is a hard job. I said it when you got the job. It's really hard. Listen, they probably didn't expect nothing. Well, they might expect something at Man United, but most teams, when you go to Old Trafford, it's always going to be hard, especially bottom of the table. But he made changes at half-time, and they started the second half really well, got the goal. But you cannot make... When you're on a booking, you can't go into silly challenges like Anguissa did, and it just ruined the game for Fulham, and by then, you knew the game was over.
And there's Sean Dyche. The final whistle has gone at Turf Moor. It ends Burnley 1, Brighton 0. James Tarkowski, after 40 minutes, with the only goal of the game. Ash, deserved win for Burnley, that?
I think so. Brighton were unlucky. They pressed really well towards the end, but that's like Burnley of last season, isn't it? Keep a clean sheet, get a goal, get a win, and they'll be really, really happy with that. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, Clinton, can I ask you a question?
Yes, man.
Why do footballers cover their mouths when they talk? We've spoken about this before.
Listen, everyone asks me. I never cover my mouth. If I've got something to say, I'll make sure the whole world can see it. and Smithy can see it. If I'm talking to you, I'll talk normally. But the thing nowadays is like, they don't want to say it. Maybe they're talking about someone and they know that everyone can lip read. I don't know. It's a strange one.
There's your former manager, Clinton Warnock. Look how much it means to him. Look, he's still going.
I knew the arm was going to come
look
up.
Look, there it is.
That's been going for years. What is it?
How many are there? How many? Hey, there it is.
Hopefully he's going to do the same age as like he's 70 years old.
Still as passionate as ever, isn't he?
He loves it. He loves it. Look at him. He loves it. Fair play to him. He deserves it. He deserves it. He can be annoying so-and-so on the touchline. I feel sorry for the fourth official because the way he'll be talking to them the whole game. Because he's so passionate about it and he wants to ref. I asked him, why don't you be a ref then? He's like, nah, it's too hard. So I said, don't hammer the referees all the time then. That's how he is, though.
7 minutes of injury time. We are still playing at the Emirates. But it is all over at West Ham. Clinton, I'm sorry to say your former club have lost. They did take the lead through James McArthur.
Oh, Nursel's up.
But then Snodgrass, Chicharito, Felipe Anderson with 3 goals. For West Ham, Jeffrey Schlupp. It ends West Ham 3, Crystal Palace 2 at the London Stadium. That one is all over. So the only game still playing is Arsenal. They find themselves 1-0 up. We're in the 5th minute of the 7 of injury time against Huddersfield, and Arsenal on the attack. So it very much looks like Arsenal are going to take all 3 points in that one. Huddersfield need.
Oh,
got a good chance for Arsenal.
Leicester does well. Leicester came up for a free kick. It's always nice to see a goalkeeper up on the other end of the pitch.
Loved him to score.
Arsenal. Stick with Arsenal. Interestingly as well, on the subject, we're talking about English players earlier on the show. Jadon Sancho with another goal for Borussia Dortmund today.
What was the score?
Great to see Borussia Dortmund.
Did they beat Schalke? It's the big derby, isn't it?
I don't know what the score is, actually. There was goals earlier. We'll find out what the score is from that game. But we'll stick with Arsenal till the end of this match.
He's exciting, he is.
Great player, isn't he?
Sancho, very exciting. Such a young age. Fair play to him going away to go and get
2-1 win Dortmund. Another goal for Sancho.
Lovely.
Dortmund stay top of the league.
Top.
It's going so right for Jadon Sancho this season. Definitely. So all eyes are on Arsenal. We'll stick with Arsenal. Will Social, any Arsenal fans on the social account?
Lots of buzzing United fans, actually. Pleased with today's win. And, some very nervous Arsenal fans with the last remaining minutes of the game. But one question, Clinton, I want to get for you. Who do you think are the 3 teams to go down this year? Obviously, some big wins for Burnley and Cardiff today.
It's hard. I ain't never saying Palace because, boy, I wouldn't be allowed back in Sellers Park. But no, I don't think. I think Palace will. It's so difficult. It's hard.
Yeah.
Southampton. I think this could be Southampton's year. I do think that's a massive result for Burnley.
That's the bottom 3, Clinton, now.
That is a massive result for Burnley. Massive result.
Tell you what, jumps out of the page. Look at that. We will update the table later.
And I always say, I would have said Cardiff, Huddersfield, and Southampton.
Yeah.
Really?
But that's what I would have said.
But now so.
Isn't it weird no one says Fulham, even though they're not wrong?
I'm going to go. And people might not.
God, say it, Clinton. Say it.
He's worried.
No, Huddersfield. I think Huddersfield's one.
Yeah.
I still probably think Cardiff might go down.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do believe Cardiff, Southampton and Fulham, and Southampton.
Southampton.
Right.
Yeah,
Think
and,
Ranieri can
you
do
know
it.
what? 100% I'm going to be wrong. So all those, all those fans have said don't shout at me because
100%
there's a reason why I've done it. So you'll survive and the other three will go down.
Let's just stick with the last minute. We're into the last minute at the Emirates now. Arsenal holding the ball in the corner. They know they've been in the game here, actually.
Yeah, it's true.
Really, I mean,
Oh, it
holding the ball
won't
into
be.
the corner.
Lovely
With a
feed.
minute to go, we approach the 97th minute. I can't imagine Huddersfield will even have a sniff on goal now. It is in their half. Torreira with the only goal of the game. I'm sure Dave Jackson will be very happy on his day off. Not in today, but hopefully he's
Oh,
having a
there
good
it
day.
is. There's the whistle.
We do miss Dave Jackson, though, when he's watching Arsenal.
Can you give
He
me
is
a sorry, Dave Jackson?
Shame that he can't be here. We'd have loved to have him here on this show. But that is the final whistle. Dave, if you're watching, get in touch. What does that mean for your season? Arsenal 1, Huddersfield 0. Scraped a result, Ash, do you think? Or did they deserve that? Where do you sort of...
They missed chances in the first half. They should have easily been 1-0 up in the first half. And you can't say they didn't deserve the win because they had the majority of the pressure. Huddersfield didn't have any massive chances apart from the Pritchard one. They deserved to win, but they made it hard work. Huddersfield were good. Huddersfield were worth it.
And we've got to talk about Torreira. Is he one of the signings of the season for you?
Yeah,
Looking like it,
definitely.
isn't he?
At 22 years of age, it's what Arsenal needed, a holding midfielder. But he scored 2 goals in his last 3 games.
Yeah.
He's been really good. And he's only going to get better.
Yeah,
And you say players take time to adapt to play in the Premier League. He looks like he's adapted straight away.
Fantastic
And
abs as well.
And you know what's good? Also, yeah, he has got great abs.
shape.
I used to have them once upon a time. You still have.
Oh, let's do his abs. Look, he's showing his abs. There we go.
But nah, I just think he's going to get better and better every game he plays in the Premier League. It's a big result for Arsenal because I think maybe under Arsene Wenger they might have drawn that or even lost that game.
Yeah.
Not playing at your best and still getting 3 points. And Emery always makes substitutions and it always works.
Yeah.
2 against Arsenal, 2 against Tottenham and 2 today against Huddersfield.
Yeah, well,
Is that 21?
He's scored more goals than any other,
Good stuff.
team in the Premier League. There are the scenes at the Emirates Arsenal. Interestingly, there you can see Torreira, loads of the Arsenal fans going and celebrating with him, shaking his hands. I think they know, the Arsenal players know that he is a big influential player for them this season. It's just what they've missed, isn't he?
We've been saying it for ages, haven't we? They've not had that, not putting him in them kind of molds, the Vieiras or the Petites of that. But he's a little pit bull in there, and he gets around, he breaks up attacks.
He's not tall, he's not a big lad.
He's not a big lad, but what you want your holding midfielders to do is win the ball back and give it to the players that in front of him that can go and do that decisive pass. And that's what he does. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent signing.
Was that Robbie Savage when you played with him?
No,
Win the ball back and give it to someone else?
Win the ball back and then give it back to them. And then chase it again because he loved running around. Now, I'm only joking, Sav, if you're watching.
So those were the full-time scenes. All of our 3 o'clock games have finished, so we can see how we got on in the Footballers' Social Accumulator. I was correct, 100% right. Couldn't have been more wrong. Couldn't have been more right, should I say, as I went for the Arsenal win.
I mean, Smithy, you've stuck your neck on the line
Yeah,
there.
I mean, to be honest,
Huge goal.
Yeah, he should have won that one.
That's the tough one.
I wish I was wrong, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
But I did call an Arsenal win. Wasn't as comfortable as we thought, but Arsenal did win that game 1-0, thanks to that Torreira goal. Ash went for a Burnley-Brighton draw, which was wrong because Burnley won thanks to that Tarkowski goal. Will went for a home win. Will, again, he calls that. Will's got lots of results on the Football Social. Cardiff won, Southampton 0, thanks to Callum Patterson. Clinton called a home win for Man United, which he was correct. Man United 4, Fulham 1. Ashley Young, Juan Mata, Lukaku and Rashford with Kamara with the goal for Fulham. And Clinton, you went for a draw, and it wasn't because West Ham came out on top in that one. 3-2. Snodgrass, Chikorita and Felipe Anderson for West Ham. MacArthur and...
Not far off.
2 goals, isn't it?
Clinton, we've done a lot worse than that, so it's not too bad.
I'm gutted.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have gone with what my head was telling me, which was always...
No, you can't.
My
Do
heart
that.
was telling me a draw.
It's hard for you, isn't it?
It is hard.
And they were 53-1,
It is
worth
hard.
pointing out. Let's have a look at the table. Quite a few changes. Fulham remain bottom. Badly to win. 9 from 16, minus 24 as well. Claudio Ranieri needs to turn that around, as does Hassan Hurtel. Is that how you pronounce it, Ash? I know your pronunciation is very good.
That was very good. You put a little accent on that as well.
There we
Enjoyed
go.
that.
9 from 16 as well. So both new managers needing to turn that around. Huddersfield make up the bottom 3. And look at that. Cardiff City in 14.
No, I want to change it, Smithy. I want to change. Those 3 that are there are going to go down.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying now. I didn't know the gap was that big. Cardiff that is unreal. The points difference between Cardiff. It's ridiculous. Look, that is a great job that Warnock's done. I remember when they were drift at the bottom. I'm changing it. those three are going down.
OK, when we get you back on in a few months, we'll look at it again there.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
It is a hard question.
It is a hard question.
Yes.
You know why it's hard? Because all it takes is 2 or 3 wins in this Premier League and you go right up the table.
Yeah.
That's how
exactly.
apart from the top, like, 5 or 6 that are way adrift of everyone. And anyone can. It's a close one. And that's why we like it, because it's the best league around.
It is the best league
so
in the world. I
close.
think we all can agree with that.
Yeah.
You mentioned the top 6. Let's have a look at the top half of the table. Here it is.
Come on, United.
Liverpool, top, following on from
Europa
their
League.
4-0 early victory at Dean Court against Bournemouth. Salah with a hat-trick, Cook with an own goal, plus 28. Worth pointing out, though, that Man City do have a game in hand. They travel to Stamford Bridge. That game kicks off shortly. Wow. 1 point behind. Arsenal now go above Tottenham, only by a point, though. Worth pointing out, Spurs have a game in hand. They play Leicester at the King Power Stadium tonight. Chelsea are in 5th. They also have a game in hand over Arsenal when they play Man City. Man United up to 6th.
Hey.
So, a lot of movement on the Premier League table. Best league in the world, as Clinton calls it. Great show today. We can have a look at our best bits.
Oh.
Here are the best bits from the show.
Oh, yeah, well.
It's a goal.
Oh, chance!
Oh, Palace in the lead, Clinton. Oh, what a goal, Ashley Young! Get in!
Man United
Yes!
1 Fulham 0.
In 1 yard. They used to call me Lineker.
Did they?
There you go. Yeah, the black Lineker. That's great to say. It's quality. Goal!
Yes! Come on!
Old Trafford.
Get in, Arteta! Yes!
What
Morrison.
Put that, yeah.
Goal!
Yes!
Goal for Man United.
Come on!
Oh, Man United.
Get in!
Got a new feature on the show.
Oh, what a goal! What a goal, West Ham!
It's
Robert
not a good goal.
Snodgrass!
It's not a good goal.
Sorry.
You know what a goal.
It's good for the Acca, it's a draw.
Out of him.
Oh,
penalty!
Oh, it's a penalty!
It's such
I keep talking to you, because every time I talk to you, there's goals.
L.
Oh!
Go on, Ash.
He's made a mistake. Patterson, surely, for Cardiff. 1-0 Cardiff.
Deadlock's been broken, Ash.
Shocking
Big game, big
defending.
goal, big moment. Jose
Oh,
seems
chance.
happy.
Aubameyang.
Still going. Aubameyang still going.
Oh, 1-0 Arsenal.
What I like about that is how high does Ash's voice go?
He loves it, don't
Give
he?
it a little rendition, Ash.
No.
I think
my voice is broken, you know. Tried to go low.
Let's go to before we go to you in social corner. Well, I'm just intrigued what the Man United fans are saying. A lot of positives for Man United, Clinton. Let's just get your reaction from the game. So many negatives for Man United this season. We have to talk about the positives today.
Definitely.
It's a job very well done from Jose Mourinho. Lukaku's on the score sheet. Juan Mata was good. We do feel sometimes Jose Mourinho gets unfairly criticised. Pogba does. It's a job very well done today.
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely. Ash said it at the start. He liked the team that Jose picked. It was a really good attacking team. He didn't play the 3 at the back, played the 4. And in particular, he got Mata into a position where I think he's really good and could cause a lot of problems. Rashford was really good. I thought he was excellent. That team, and Lukaku's got his goal. It wasn't a great performance from Lukaku, but he held the ball up really well, and he was in the box where you want him to score goals. Balls came across the box, and he was in there. There was another chance where a confident Lukaku probably would have hit the target.
Yeah.
But you have to give credit to Man United. They took a lot of stick. Jose's took a lot of stick. You can only beat what's in front of you. It was made easier, but by that, with Fulham going out to 10, but by that time, they were 3-1 up anyway, and I think the game was all over. But it was a positive performance. But in particular, I liked Juan Mata today. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah.
And I do like him a
The red
lot.
card didn't really change the game.
No, it didn't change the game,
3-1 up,
because
it's not.
I always thought after that, it gave Fulham a bit of a lift, but Man United were always in control.
Ash, Man United fans' perspective, a big win, big result. Is this the result now you expect Man United to kick on from?
We've got Liverpool away next, so that'll be lovely to
no,
kick on. So, no. It would be horrible if the headlines are about Pogba, because Rashford got 2 assists and a goal, Mata played well, Lukaku got his goal.
Young
We very
played
nearly
well.
kept a clean sheet. Stupid not to have kept a clean sheet. We scored 4 goals, which we haven't done for a long time. The headlines should all be about that, so I just hope it's not about Pogba.
On that note, though, it's a very good point that you make. Whether the headlines or not will be about Pogba, only time will tell. We'll see tomorrow. Does Pogba get back in the team, though, considering how well that Man United team played without him?
Yeah, for me, he always should. I don't know who. I guess in the next game he might drop Mata if we go 3 in midfield away to Liverpool. So you'd kind of think, hopefully he won't put...
wouldn't it, after today's performance?
Yeah, exactly, but...
It's a hard one, that, but them big games is when you want your big players.
Yeah.
But at the moment, they put on two very good results without Pogba in the team.
Exactly.
So does he keep with what he's got?
If he does come in, though, he could make a real statement and have like that real leadership performance away at Liverpool.
Like he did last season when he single-handedly against Man City.
In a big game as well.
Oh, exactly. That was unbelievable.
Maybe it's and he's a big game player.
Yeah, well, let's go to Social Corner. We've had some good questions today. Have you got any for us?
Fantastic. Yeah, just a few comments about one person that hasn't maybe taken the headlines from United's performance today is Dalot as well.
Good point.
Comment from Anthea says, this is how United should be playing and Dalot should be starting in the starting 11. So, one to consider there.
Yeah, he did do well. You got to realise he had Valencia ahead of him, even Ashley Young. Ashley went over to the left side and done ever so well. So I know they've not naturally them fullbacks like that. Ashley Young's a winger and so was Valencia, but they've dropped back. But Dalot's young and he has impressed over the last 2 games. So, yeah, that was a big positive to come out of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you always look, when a team is struggling, there's always one positive, that a player gets an opportunity and takes his chance. And Dalot's come in and took his chance.
So looking at Man United now, is top 4 realistic this season still?
I think we've got a run of games after Liverpool that are very winnable, and if we, I don't know, get a point at Anfield, win the next 3 games, you'd like to think we'd put a run together. Hopefully, I'm trying to be optimistic, but I just can't see it at the moment. The teams above us are better than us. It's simple as that. At the moment, they're better.
Yeah, I agree with him. The teams above would have to drop, and the teams above at the moment are better than Man United. But you can never rule out Manchester United. I'm not saying with the team they've got now, but the team they have got is really good. When everyone's fit and flying, that squad of players should be challenging the title. And I've said this many a times, and people might disagree. I can guarantee you, if Pep Guardiola or Pochettino were the manager of Man United, no, don't worry, I'm not trying to get him out of there.
So Pep Guardiola.
All right, no, just go with Pep. If Pep was the manager of Man United, you'd be doing 10 times better and you'd be challenging. I just believe he can get the best out of the players, and he lets players play with freedom and lets the reins of it, says go and express yourself. I think Jose pulls the reins of Pogba. Listen, Pogba will probably give the ball away 6, 7, 8 times in a game, but he might do 3 or 4 things in a game that will win you the game. You have to realise that when you're handling big players like that. And I just think that's 2 big egos at the club. There's always only going to be one winner, isn't there?
It's a bit like you said earlier, that Mick McCarthy, Roy Keane, the 2 egos club.
Of course it is, and obviously the manager always wins at the end of the day. He sent Roy home, and that's what happens. It's 2 big egos, 2 people that are not going to back down.
Liverpool, Man United, next game, huge game. I want to ask you, from a player's perspective, obviously it's a massive game, but not just in terms of points. How big is that psychologically? When you were playing, have you played in big derby matches where a result psychologically affects the rest of your season or the next month because of what it gives the team?
Yeah, definitely. And this Liverpool, Man United, I know Liverpool and Everton is the most side, but this is a derby. The fans don't like each other. They hate each other. And even players you've seen before, when Gary Neville, when Man United scored, he's gone.
I remember that.
Celebrated in front of the Liverpool fans. So it is a massive game to deal with. And on the back of this win, Man United should be going into it full of confidence. So you're hoping, but it is psychologically, if they beat Liverpool, it will give Man United a good lift, and then I think they could challenge to get in the fourth.
And like Ash says, the next run of games are quite favourable. If they can get something at Liverpool,
if they get something at Liverpool, it gives everyone around a big lift.
Let's go back to the social tech. Last few questions before we go off air. Will, what are people saying?
Yeah, lots of love for Torreira today as well, but then people wanting to get your comments on Divegate at the Emirates today.
Well, I think we'll go to you here, because you're quite strong on diving.
I don't like it. I've never done it myself. Well, not that I've deliberately done anything like that. I've never, ever done it. I might have thought I've got clipped and went down, but you shouldn't do it. It looks like a lot of people are trying to... They're not waiting for the contact. They're basically, there's no contact, but they're sticking their foot up to get the contact. So they're leaning into it to try and get contact. And I saw it 3 opportunities in that Arsenal. Maybe the Mustafi one, there was slight contact. So that could have been given either or, but I think the ref made the right decision. But I don't agree with this diving. And we need to cut it out. And we've been saying it, I think, for the last year, and it's starting to get worse and worse. And 3 times in one game we're talking about that. At the end of the game, you want to talk about Arsenal winning the game, not about 3 incidents of diving in the game. So I don't like it. It
slightly tainted Arsenal's victory a little bit?
Well, yeah, it could do. The Guendouzi one was the one that got me. Mustafi was very harsh, but the Guendouzi one, it's not good. As he said, he's gone past his man. Why is he sticking his foot out to get it? He still could have got it and crossed the ball, but he's thinking, I'm in a position there, time's running out. I'm going to try and win a penalty for my side. So That's the only disappointing thing from that game, the diving, but a very good performance by Arsenal.
Yeah, good game, good win for Man United, good win for Arsenal. We will be back next Sunday for that massive game that we were talking about. There it is, the Football Social, Liverpool versus Man United special on Soccer AM and Football Daily's YouTube channel. We'll be live at 3:45 next Sunday. So set your alarms for that one, get your questions into us. Should be a great game, massive game for Man United, massive game for Liverpool. So we'll see you next Sunday. A big thanks to our guest, Clinton. Always a pleasure having you on. Some brilliant stories. Will in social media. Call a round of applause as well.
Legend Will.
Legend Will. And Ash, always, as always.
Very good, Ash.
Brilliant. And Mark, the floor manager, and everybody. Phil Scorley, big thanks. We'll be back next Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you later.